video. Right. So, okay, namumula na dito. So, we are now 39 in our attendance, and we'll start with the midterm presentation of the projects again. Okay, so with this project presentation, this is our lineup. Our lineup is we'll start with group 4, followed by group 5, then group 2, group 3, and then group 1. Ayan. So, yan yung ating lineup. So, for those that are already set, so make sure you ready your presentation. Okay? So, we'll begin. Let's formally start by paying our respect to our anthem.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Okay, and then we say our prayer. Okay, let's put ourselves in the presence of the Lord.
Lord God, thank you so much for giving us another day to study and prepare for a good life in the future. Thank you for giving us the chance to continue learning amidst the pandemic, which caused a lot of changes in our lives. Bless our parents who work hard to support us. Bless our teachers who are doing their best to inspire and guide us, especially in these trying times. Bless our country and the people who continue fighting to stop the pandemic. Lord, fill us with your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Give us good memory so that we might understand and remember what we are going to study now. These we pray in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Okay. So, let's start with our presentation. Okay, group 4, you may now share your presentation.
Kita nyo na po, ma'am?
Yep.
Can you see it, ma'am? Wait lang po. Let me check my Teams lang po.
Maganda yan,
Okay. Good afternoon, ma'am. We are team number 4 of BSIT 11N. I am Inigo Manuel Antonio T. Lacson, this team's project manager. And we are here to exhibit our midterm application project. At first, we were adamant about the ideas that each team member proposed. There were bank management systems, a Flappy Bird-inspired game, and an airline reservation system, and auto-reply messaging application. But none would fit the taste and criteria of the whole team. Maybe because of the lack of time, the difficulty to make the presentation an application, or even because of our entry-level knowledge about C++. We invested a lot of time thinking of what application we should do. Then it hit us. Due to the controversial presidential results, this inspired us to create a transparent election system. So, as you can see, what is a voting management system?
But before that, let me show you our proposed company and application logo. So here's our proposed logo. It was made by one of our group mates, which is me, by using 3D softwares like Blender, Maya, and Substance Painter. Yung icon po is very straight to the point lang, which is nagsisimbolo sa computer na ginamit sa pag-transit ng data ng votes. Dalawa siya, and we're still planning kung ano ang magiging official na company logo. And the next reporter will be Mr. Trinidad that will discuss the project scope.
The project scope is our list of specific
Um,
project goals, deliverables.
The project scope is our list of specific project goals, deliverables, tasks, costs, and deadlines that we plan. First one is to provide basic knowledge in creating a polling
Yung
system,
ano,
to test
yung
this system in our
PowerPoint,
classroom.
Ang naka-show
To present
ay yung voting system.
the-
Ayan. Baba mo muna. Yung PowerPoint yun dapat.
Design po yan. Ang design po namin.
Design ba yan?
Ay, ma'am, ito na po yung PowerPoint. Like,
Design po yan.
Okay.
Design
Ang design po
Ganito,
namin yan,
sige.
yan po yung team.
Namukha po siyang
Ah,
compiler.
Sorry po.
Our first project scope is to
For our project scope po, we wanted to provide basic knowledge.
Tuloy ko lang po yung sinabi ni MJ. For our project scope po, we wanted to provide basic knowledge dun po sa mga nag-iisip din kung ano yung pwede nilang gawin na simple application, and also yung helpful para sa hindi lang for classroom, maybe pwede rin naman for the whole school. So what's the purpose and business need for this project? So we wanted to give peers idea on how to make a simple voting system that they can use on a classroom or even in a larger scale. So like what I've said po, gusto lang din po namin i-share yung knowledge namin na by this simple application, we wanted others to know na since simple application siya, ito yung pinaka-best na simple application which is also helpful hindi lang sa mga students sa isang classroom kung hindi sa larger scale pa, like for the whole school, and also pwede rin sa mga SK votings, ganyan po. So next is, who are the stakeholders and users? So the creators will be fully responsible for inaccurate election result. Errors that will or can affect the votes directly and indirectly, and everyone can participate in this system. So ganun po. For example, sa aming simple app, na which is yung voting system na to is only for BSIT 11N. So basically, ang pwede lang pong mag-participate is students lang po ng BSIT 11N. Yun lang po. Next slide, please.
We use specific compilers to build our system, like Turbo C.
Next on the list is our objectives.
Or Replit.
First one is the technical objective. We use specific compilers to build our system like Turbo C, Dev C, Code Blocks, and Visual Code, or Replit to be able to fully design and implement a C project.
It is one of our main goals to pass.
Our first objective is to successfully write, use, and execute the project in a compiler like I mentioned before. Second on the list is our schedule. It is one of our main goals to pass and present this project on time to our professor and our classmates. Third objective is our user objective.
To satisfy users
Is to find that is to find people that can test our project. In this way, we can prove that our system is working. Number 4, satisfaction objective. To satisfy users, minimizes errors or glitch in the system. Satisfactory of the users is also one of our objectives. We should not make errors because it's the people's vote that we are handling. Our last objective is the graphics objective, to make the system work that will be easily accessible, readable, and understandable by the users. Everyone can join and use our system. That's why it's up to us to make the project as simple as possible, because not everyone is privileged enough to understand complicated voting processes. May next slide, please.
So for the deliverables, what services or game will your project deliver, and what is the name of the system completed and implemented? So for our app, we decided to make a simple voting or polling system lang po, which we intend to call VMS, which is short po for Voting Management System. What do you expect to use? What do you expect to use? Itemize the things your system can do, completed and implemented. So, our app, the VMS, is for people who wishes to exercise their right to vote. It is best if the user can read and write in English po, because the language that we have chosen to use in our system is in English. VMS could accept and store votes that the users would cast and provide the partial number of votes or the results in the election. Because of that po, the users could see which among the candidates are leading or losing. VMS will not accept invalid keys and numbers that exceed its limits. And yung sa app din po namin, one ID number is equivalent po to one vote lang. This means that once a person with a designated ID number already voted, they could no longer vote again. Strictly one vote per person or ID. If they try to vote again, yung vote po nila will be invalid. May I call on Ian and Siren to present the next slide, please?
Hello po. So here we have our voting management system flowchart. So as we all know po, or as we are taught, as a visual representation of data flow, gumagamit po tayo ng flowcharts in writing a program or algorithm para ma-explain po natin sa others, or in terms of collaborating with your colleagues po. So magsisimula po tayo sa start. Then we declare header, void, and function. So dito po binubuo yung mga hashtag includes po namin. Yung mga IO stream, which is hindi po dapat nakakalimutan. Meron din po kaming upstream, which is input po. Input po ng data ng, kunwari po, creating accounts. Tapos, string po, input ng Windows H po sa paglalagay po ng color. Tapos, meron din po kaming void, which, directory po siya ng namin, ng program. And functions po, such as, int main. Tapos, susunod po yung call function for welcome and menu options, int main. Tapos, ito po yung main directory ng program kami ng program namin. Then magkakaroon po kami ng input data to menu function para po mag-navigate dun sa program namin. Meron po kaming, tapos dito po papasok yung switch. Meron po kaming 4 cases, tapos isang default. Yung case 1 po is cast, to cast a vote. Po siya, navigate po siya sa program ginagawa po nito is dito po kayo magkakas ng vote. Is case 2, which is view vote count. Kapag kunwari po may iba na pong nag-vote, pwede nyo po makita dito kung ilan na po yung nag-vote sa certain people. This case 3, candidate profiles, which is stated as void profile. Dito po nakapasok yung mga profiles po ng mga candidates. Then we have case 4 po, which is exit. Dito po mag-exit yung program. And then our default po is invalid input. Press enter to try again. Dito po pumapasok yung mga invalid inputs. Pag kumari may iba pong number na naglagay. Maliban, lagpas sa 4, like that. Or ibang characters. Susundan po ni Siron.
Yan po, good afternoon. Doon po tayo dun sa next part. Pero mas anuhin ko lang po na bigyan ko lang po kayo ng mas maraming information about po dito sa mga void. So, dun po tayo sa CASA vote or dun sa void profile. Once na pinili po yung CASA vote, mapupunta po siya sa login. Then, after po nun, dun na po pipili kung sinong tao yung gusto nilang i-vote. Then, next naman po is yung break. Yung break po, namin siya para may stop po namin yung loop. Then, ito naman pong A. A po, yan po yung call function for welcome and menu options. Yung pong nandun sa pinakauna. So once na matapos na po sila mag-vote, dun po sila mapupunta. Then dito naman po sa void count, dito naman po makikita yung pangalan ng each candidate and kung ilang vote mayroon po sila. Then same process po to stop the loop, then babalik din po ulit sila sa call function. Next naman po is candidate profiles. Makikita naman po natin dito yung about sa mga candidate. Mga information po para mas magka-idea yung mga voters kung sinong dapat po nilang iboto. Then, same process po sa mga nauna. Break, then balik po sa A. Exit, ito po, pinaka-simple. The word itself, exit. Okay na po siya, then the end. Tapos, ito naman pong invalid input, press enter to try again. Ito po yung lilitaw kapag yung gumagamit, nag-enter siya ng hindi tama. Yung parang siguro nagkamali po siya or something like that. Then babalik po siya sa welcome and menu. Yun lang po. That's all po, Mr. Trinidad. Pasok.
First success factor is satisfied.
This is our success factors. What are success factors? These are the different internal and external influences which can impact the potential success of our business system.
Processed and registered.
Second is satisfied users that can cast and watch their vote. Without the satisfaction of our voters or users, this project can or will not be even considered as a success. So it is with great pleasure to watch our users to cast and watch their vote being processed and registered. Second, met project objectives which we accomplished as we declared in the previous slide. Objectives being met is the goal of our initiatives, the key to our success. Third is on schedule submission. Deadlines are one of the important dates to keep in mind. Submitting or completing on an early date is our goal. Fourth, possible investors that would want the idea of our project. If the project can attract possible investors, then it's an extra for us. It can motivate us in modifying our project. Last but not the least, plan, schedule, and organize timetables. When our group plan this step towards success. That's our success factors. Next page, please.
Here are the minds behind the VMS. Me, myself, Inigo as the project manager. Next up is Justin, or we call him Sedi, our technical writer. Systems analyst Maria, aka Jed, and Carl, just Carl. We also have our business analysts Marcos and Ian. And of course, the backbone of our team, Ian and Siron, the project programmers. So the whole team, I am now going to discuss how we implemented our idea into an application. Here are just vague details on how we stayed organized and handled our tasks in a respectful manner. Task, design, development, and presentation, these are the main objectives that the team needed to accomplish the VMS. The procedures that we concurred and agreed upon is that we would create first an outline of the whole project and divide them into mini tasks and members. Programmers and system analysts are in charge of coding. Business analysts and the upper echelon of the group make proposals and suggest more ideas to improve the application. And after brainstorming, we needed to finalize our application for presentations. The tools and technology that Team VMS use are designed to promote teamwork and convenience. Websites like Replit, Google Drive, Google Doc, which are all sharing platforms for documents and files, and others for development like Dev C++, code blocks, and Visual Code. Discord and Messenger for communication. Next up is Lian for the project schedule and milestones.
May kanya-kanyang hingi din po kami na kanya-kanyang
Hello po.
project na
For
naiisip.
our project identification, which is noong May 21, 2022 po, this is the time when where we decided on what project should we do. Kasi syempre po, may kanya-kanyang hingi din po kami na kanya-kanyang project na naiisip. Project proposal, tig-iisa po kami. And then, nung May 21, which is the project identification, is kung kailan po namin siya pinlano. And then for the project design naman po, ito na yung finalize namin kung ano yung project na namin or kung ano na po yung project na final para sa amin na gagawin namin. And also, sa project design is ito po yung time kung kailan kami nag-gather ng data, tools, and references na we needed to make this project po. And for our project development po, which is noong May 24 to 26, is when we conducted na our project, which is ito po yung voting system. And for the project presentation, May 28, is ito po, yung araw na to, which is pinapresent namin yung project namin right now.
Permission to share screen. Okay, so na-share ko na po ang aking screen.
So good afternoon everyone. So today we will gonna present our presentation, our code. So Inigo, can you stop sharing so I can share my code?
Po ma'am, kung makikita niyo po, nalagay po dyan, welcome to BMS.
Permission to share screen, ma'am.
Ayan, so may apat po kami features ma'am, kasa vote.
Okay, so na-share ko na po yung aking screen. So bago ko i-explain ang code namin, let me kung paano itsura niya and how it works po.
BMS, which stands for
Ayan. So ayan po ma'am, kung makikita nyo po, nalagay po dyan, welcome to BMS, main menu. Ayan, so may apat po kami features ma'am, cast a vote, view vote count, candidate profiles, and exit po. So try po natin yung cast a vote po. So press 1. So pagka press 1 po, ito po lalabas, BMS, which stands for vote management system. So enter your name, so nalagay nyo po. Ayan. For example, Sedi. Next po is yung enter your ID. So yung ID po is yung creators po, yung mga programmers po magpro-provide po nun. Yung users po hindi po sila magre-register. Bali ang gagawin na po nila is magla-login lang po. So yung user ID na available po right now is yung 1234 po. So yun po yung gagamitin natin. So yan po. Pagka-enter po, ito po yung lalabas na candidate po. Sila, example lang po siya. Sila Andre, Tina M po. So ayan po, pipili po yung user kung sino gusto nilang iboto. So for example, parang gusto kong iboto dito si Annalyn M. So press 1 po. Ayan. So pagka press 1 ko po, lalabas po dito is thank you, your vote has been casted successfully. Press enter to return to the main menu. So press ko po yung enter. Ngayon, kung gusto ko po makita po yung vote count po, ipipress ko lang po dito yung 2. So ayan po, kung makita nyo po, dahil binoto ko po dito si Annalyn M, nadagdagan po siya ng 1 point dahil po sa akin. So ayan po, nag-update po siya kada vote count po. So press enter ulit po tayo para bumalik sa main menu. Ayan naman po, para naman po sa candidate profiles, press lang po yung 3. Ayan, so sa candidate profiles, nakalagay lang po dito yung profile po ng candidate. Don't mind po yung description, ano lang po naman yan, sample lang po yan, sample description. So just a prototype po, so don't mind po the description. So yan po example po ng candidate profile po. So press enter po ulit para bumalik sa main menu. So kapag naman po, kung mari yung user po ay may maling napindot, for example 5, gano'n, na wala naman sa switch case po namin, ang lalabas po is invalid input, please enter to try again. So press enter ulit. So kung mari parang gusto mo ulit bumoto, so press 1 po ulit, 1, sagay po yung name nyo. So sa po namin, dito po sa voting machine po namin, vote management system po, yung ID po is good for 1 vote lang po siya. So bawal na po siya gamitin pag nakaboto ka na po. So for example, gagamitin ko po ulit siya, ayan. Ang sasabihin po ng system po namin is invalid ID or it has already been used. So please enter to try again po ulit. Ayan po, bumalik sa main menu. Bali, 1 ID is equals to 1 vote lang po. So may isa pa po akong ID na nagawa po. So, tayo natin yung isang ID, 5678. Ayan. So, ayan, pwede po rin tayo bumoto. Kung nari, ang gusto ko pong iboto ay si Pablo J po. Ayan, pindutin ko lang po yung 2. Ayan, so sabihin niya po, thank you and your vote has been. Please press enter to return to the main menu. Pagka-enter ko po, check ko ulit yung view vote count kung may nadagdagan po ba. At you can see po ma'am, ayan po may nadagdagan po. Si Pablo J po ay may 1 na rin pong points at si Ana rin M po may 1 din pong points. Press enter to return to the main menu. At ayan po, press 4 naman po para sa exit po. Sabihin ng system, you entered exit. Thank you. Ayan, so mag-exit po tayo. Ngayon, pumunta naman po tayo kung paano gumana po yung system namin. So mag-start po tayo sa ating header. So sa header po, gawin kami ng iStream, Fstream, string, Windows H para po gumana yung mga pinaglalagay po namin na code dito. Especially yung Windows H po for color po. Yung string and Fstream naman po para po sa file and pag-input po ng mga ayun po. Tapos yung using namespace naman po, ayan, napaka-normal na po nun. Lagi po natin ginagawa po yan para hindi po mahaba yung code, para wala na pong STD eklabush po pag naglalagay po, para hindi po mahaba. Tapos pagdating naman po sa void, ayan, 4 po yung void namin. Void cast, void count, void profile, void exit. So sa void cast, dun po papasok yung kasa vote. Void count, dun papasok po yung kung ilan po yung vote. Yung void profile, kung profile po ng candidate, and yung void exit. Pumunta na po natin sa int main para sa ating main function. So ay makikita nyo po, ito pong line 16 to 17, ito po yung nagpapakulay po sa aming program para kumulay po yung welcome to VMS po namin. Ganyan din po sa set console attributes po namin dito para kumulay din po. Ayan, line 32, line 35, line 43, yan para kumulay po. So sa main menu, nakita nyo po kanina, doon po lalabas yung yung kasa vote, view vote count, candidate profiles, exit. So yung line 51 to 16, yun yung int main po namin. Ngayon pumunta naman tayo sa line 53 natin para sa ating switch case. So sa case number 1, yun yung cast a vote case po namin. Ayan. Sa case 2 naman yung view vote count case namin. Case 3 naman yung candidate profiles case, and yung case 4 exit case, and yung default naman kapag nagkaroon ng invalid input. So ayan, kung makikita nyo, may synget kami, system main dito sa int main. Okay? So next naman, pumunta na tayo, further explain natin ang mga void. So mag-start tayo sa void cast. Ayan. So may system close kami para hindi masama yung main menu. Parang panibagong ulit. So ayan, may set console ulit kami. Ito yung kulay ulit. Ayan, VMS. Tapos dito sa line 93 hanggang hanggang 130. Ito yung login namin. Ayan. So gumamit kami ng Fstream. Ayan. May 500.openIDTXT ISIN para ma-read yung user ID para mag-allow sila ng input dyan. As ayan, may kami enter your name, ayan, enter your ID. Tapos ito gumamit kami ng array na 200. So yung big sabihin niyan is yung maximum vote lang can be casted to 200. So pwede namin siya i-further improve namin yung laman nito para pang maramihan. Ayan, so ayan. Dito naman sa line 115, naman yan, allows output. Ayan. So dito naman sa 120, 120 to 130, kapag hindi nag-exist yung ID or kapag nagamit na siya, ayan, ito yung lalabas, invalid ID or it has already been used. Press enter to return to the main menu. Ayan, synget kami, system close, main return, babalik ulit siya dito sa int main. Next naman tayo. So after natin mag-login, kasama din dito sa void cast ang ito, simula sa 134 to 190. Ayan, dito na mag-start yung botohan. Ayan, so gawa ulit kami ng color. Ayan, set console. Ayan, choose sa candidate. Ayan, nilagay namin sila Ana rin M as our candidate 1, candidate 2, Pablo J, candidate 3, Tina M. Per candidate, ayan, dito naman sa if candidate equals 1, din na papasok yung kung kanino marirecord yung boto. Ayan, so sa candidate 1, recorded ang vote sa candidate 1. Sama sa 2, recorded ang candidate sa 2. And yung 3, recorded ang vote sa candidate 3. Ayan, so yun yung explanation dun. So next, ayan, so after mo bumoto, ayan, nalabas ulit to, itong synget namin, system close, main return, at babalik ulit siya dito. Okay, chill na chill. Next, punta naman tayo dito sa void count. So sa void count namin, ayan, so gumamit ulit kami ng stream para ma-open yung file handler. Ayan, yung C1. Yung C1 to, papakita dito yung candidate 1. Yung C2, papakita si candidate 2. Yung C3, papakita si candidate 3. Ayan, so mag-register lang, papakita lang sa system. Ayan, so ito yung purpose ng F-stream namin para sa void count. Next naman is yung void profile. Ayan. So, balik pala tayo sa void count. So, dito siya papasok, guys. Ayan. So, makita nyo, ay no, may number 1 na siya. Ayan. So, C2, may number 1 na siya kasi binoto natin siya kanina. So, C3, wala pang boto kasi di pa natin siya binoboto. Ayan. So, yun yung purpose naman. So, siya makikita. Tapos, ito, ano po, ma'am? Apo, ma'am. Doon po siya papasok, ma'am. Ito yung ID, guys. Ayan. Ito yun. Nare-register niya, nare-recognize niya kapag nagamit na yung ID kaya nagkakaganyan siya. Ayan. So next, sa void profile. So sa void profile, ano lang, basic lang. Gumamit namin ng cout para ilagay yung text ng mga candidates. Ayan, yung description nila. So gumamit din kami ng mga, ayan, mga pampaganda ng text. Ayan. So ayun. Tapos ayun na, return ulit sa main menu. Pagkatapos mo pag-press mo yung enter at ayun, babalik ulit siya dun sa init main. So, dun magtatapos yung aking pagpapakita ng aming program. So, babalik ulit tayo sa presentation ni Inigo para sa reference and summarization ng lahat. Inigo, take.
Next po, kay Simply Learn. So, ito po yung aming references. Yung una po, yung kay Code Seeker. Doon po namin nakuha yung idea na magkakaroon ng 1 ID is equal to 1 vote. Sa kanya rin nakuha kung paano yung ipakita yung vote count ng mga candidate and paano mag-cast ng vote. Next po, kay Simply Learn, information about file handler, yung mga F-stream para mag-function yung file. Tapos, in-adapt namin yung login and registration system dyan and nakuha namin dyan yung inspiration ng main menu. Last, next po yung kay Geeks for Geeks naman. Diyan namin nakuha yung kung paano lagyan ng color yung text doon sa exe file. And last, the Stack Overflow and GitHub. Diyan po namin nakuha kung paano mga errors na nakukuha namin if ever na hindi namin mapagana yung code. And next po, let me recap lang po yung presentation namin. Again, our project was inspired from the election that happened on May 9, 2022. Our objective was to create transparent voting system where voters can monitor the voting count whenever they please. Our voting management system has been amount of time. And now we are finding volunteers to test the application to minimize the errors in our system.
Ginawa niyo yung
That will be all and thank you.
voting system because of your experience last election. So, anong masasabi nyo? Kasi I think transparency ang gusto nyo palabasin, ano? Anong meron dun sa system na ginawa ninyo na tingin nyo wala dun sa system na ginawa this election, the previous election? Yeah? Yes.
Siguro yung wala po sa kanila na meron sa amin. Siguro yung safety po ng boto, ma'am. Kasi kung mapapansin niyo po, naging issue po sa balita na yung mga naghahawak po ng vote, yung balota is parang madaling malungkot. Nilulungkot nila and ang nangyayari po is
Permission to speak po. Siguro yung wala po sa kanila na meron sa amin. Siguro yung safety po ng boto, ma'am. Kasi kung mapapansin niyo po, naging issue po sa balita na yung mga naghahawak po ng vote, yung balota is parang nilulungkot po nila and ang nangyayari po is hindi po nare-read yung boto. Yung sa amin naman po is directly sa system na po siya. Kumbaga yung mismong creator na po magpo-provide po ng ID and i-make sure po ng creator na safe po yung boto. Ayun po, ma'am. Yung pinagkaiba po ng voting system namin sa voting system po ng nangyaring election po.
Na hindi mamamanipulate yung boto ng isang tao. One, walang connection kasi sino nga yung charge ng Commission on Election, meron silang database. So may database lahat sila ng mga members ng ng mga boboto. So may number 'yon, no? Yung number na 'yun kasi pwede mong itag doon sa ano ng system ni sino nga yung provider na 'yan. Anyway, 'yon, no? So para kumbaga katulad ng ginawa nyo, no? Meron kayo dyang number that represent the person who's going to vote, no? And then pag nagamit nyo na, which is yung sinasabi nyo, yung safety, no? Hindi na siya magagamit ulit, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yung kasi, ang pwedeng kasing panggalingan noon is yung data ng Commission on Election. Tapos i-connect doon sa system. Ang problema, yung vulnerabilities kasi pwedeng i-randomize, no? Ano ibig sabihin?
Yes, po.
Katulad yung nagra-randomize tayo ng pwede siyang ma-hack, no? At pwedeng magamit yung voting ID ko halimbawa. Now, anong ginawa nilang solusyon? Solusyon para hindi mo na kailangan ng voter's ID. I mean, yung mismong 'di ba? Kasi you have to point something, no, para mag no? At dapat unique 'yan, no? Lalo na sa database, unique and primary key. So what they did, ginawa nilang image base. Paano image base? Meaning, every image, mahirap kasing i-hack ang image. Kasi ang image, kung mapapansin nyo, pixelated yan. Ang values niyan, random din, no? Hindi pare-pareho. So, ginawa nilang yung code, nag-base siya image. So, anong image ang tinitingnan? Ang tinitingnang image doon sa mga nakaboto ay yung shaded, no? Yung shaded, no? So, yung shaded na yan yung binibilang. So, kada shade na tumatakbo doon sa pumapasok sa main system. So, yung main system, ang binibilang yung shaded. So, image yun. Hindi siya text. Kasi ang text, medyo madali siyang i-manipulate, no? Ang image, dahil yung composition niya, doon sa mga nagga-graphics, no? Doon sa mga gustong maging ng gamer, no? Kailangan mong i-animate, no? So, ang animation nila is yung pagbilang, no? Kaya, masasabi ko na safe yung portion na yon, yung bilangan, no? What was not safe is doon kasi naputol, no? Yung nakita kong putol, no? Yung verification naging mano-mano, no? You have to see the face and verify that is the person, kaya nga nagbo-vote in tayo ng Now, yun yung automation na hindi dumiretso. Kumbaga, eto meron kang record sa Commission on Election. Meron kang system. Nakita ko yun kasi nag-register ako. Nagre-register ako kasi dati yung registration ko nasa abroad. Nung nakita ko, may system pala sila. So, pwedeng magamit. Pero hindi nila ginamit kasi yun yung connection na wala. Dahil alam ng Commission na Election na very compromised yung data na meron sa kanila. Yan. So yun. So tama rin kayo doon na hindi safe, na hindi siya safe na i-share yung data na meron. Kaya ganun ang ginawa nilang procedure. Yun nga lang, instead na nadali, actually madali rin naman ang pagbibilang ngayon kaso meron lang kasing gusto kasi nilang i-establish na ganun yung sitwasyon. So nakita nyo ba, na picture nyo ba yung difference nun sa inyo, na nakita nyo yung difference ng dalawa na in terms of technicalities? Gusto ko maintindihan nyo yun So yun yung magandang gawa nyo ng solusyon pagdating dyan sa system ninyo, na paano isosolve na walang magiging issue, walang magkakaroon ng question doon sa i-link yung data ng Commission on Election doon sa voting system. Kasi yung maging vulnerable, siguro kailangan lang ng trust, kasi kulang tayo sa trust issue pagdating sa bilangan ng ating boto, 'di ba? Kaya nga kayo gumawa ng ganyan no? So tama ka, medyo compromise yung in terms sa mga boboto dahil, 'di ba? kailangan ng actual verification, at saka pwede ring i-manipulate ng taong nandun, no? So, there are a lot of possibilities that you can think of. Pero tama ka rin na mas secure yun sa inyo kasi one-on-one. Pero ang possibility ng malaki possibility. Ayan. O, then dami ko sinabi.
Hello po ma'am, nag-clear lang po ako. Well, from my agree po na lahat election po, ang naging problem lang po is mostly is yung handling po ng balota.
Correct.
And yes ma'am, inspiration lang po namin yung last election, pero ang sole purpose po namin is to use this as a small scale po. Like sa classroom. Hello po ma'am, nag-clear lang po ako. So ma'am, I agree po na last election po, ang naging problem lang po is mostly is yung handling po ng balota. And yes ma'am, inspiration lang po namin yung last election, pero ang sole purpose po namin is to use this as a small scale po. Like sa classroom lang muna or sa school.
Maganda yung ginagawa niya.
Karamihan po ng schools po ngayon, like, ginagamit pa po nila is yung traditional voting. Like, nililista-lista po nila, papataas. And if ever naman po, if may investors, dun po kami magkakaroon ng development dun sa application namin.
Yung mas magandang idea eh. Actually, ang gusto ko sanang mangyari, para mas secure yung pagboto natin, is gawin na lang lahat talaga automated. Katulad dun sa US, yung mga bumoboto, nakaharap sa machine. Maganda rin to, no? Image verification. Para makita nyo kung saan tatakbo yung nyo. And kung may bala kayong gawing complex tong voting na to, no? Dila, merong mga voting machine, haharap sila doon, yung mukha nila naka RFID for verification na mukha talaga nila yung nandun. Tapos yung harapan nilang ganyan, may mga choices, so mismo sila yung nagpe-press, no? Tapos generated na yon, no? Pagkatapos ng boto for that day, lilitaw na lahat ng panalo, as in that instance. At walang magsasabi, walang makakapagsabi na talagang malinis. Kahit na sinasabi ni Trump ngayon doon sa US na minanipulate daw yung boto, hindi pwedeng mangyari yung gusto niya, yung sinasabi niya, kasi hindi man siya IT eh. As in talagang ganun kabilis. So maganda yon, no? So wala lang, kasi maganda talaga kung halimbawa fully automated talaga. Tayo kasi partial yung natin. Now, kung paggagamitan nyo yan in terms of halimbawa contest, may contest kayo, pwede nyo siyang yan yung initial step sa sa isang contest or isang game, no? Yung mga ina-accept, no? Para sa may mga pinupush kayo, no? Yan. So, yan yung initial step, no? So, nagawa nyo na yung initial step. So, yung mga concept na sinasabi ko, yan yung paano nyo siya i-blow out, no? Pagka ginawa nyo yung complex. Wala lang, idea lang.
Yes po, ganda pa na idea mo. Pwede pa namin siguro ma-apply. Sa susunod capsule.
Gusto nyo i-capstone. Maganda yan, ha? Ika-capstone nyo, tapos but considering whatever is the experience, no?
Yes po,
dun sa
ganda po na
actual
idea mo.
environment.
Pwede po namin
Kasi
siguro
ang dami
ma-apply.
din mapipick up dun, eh.
Sa susunod capsule.
That will help you
ganun.
improve the system. Okay, thank you so much. I like your idea. Wait lang. Meron akong yung ating nalimutan ko yung ating major clap. YouTube. Group clap. Sound effect. Ayan. Nasaan na yun? Big crowd. Ayan.
Enjoy fast and free shipping.
Ngayon, ang job
Ha? Ano ba group clap to? Ano nangyari? Sabay na oral yun. Ito yung...
Enjoy fast and free shipping.
Ngayon, ang job
Ano ba yan? Yay! Ang dami! Ang dami! Congratulations!
Thank you po, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Sige. Moving on to the next group. Okay, nasa na? Nasa
Thank you
na?
po, ma'am. I'll stop streaming na po.
Ayan.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you po.
Bilang. 1, 2, 3. Screenshot. Okay, we're good. Okay? Good
Ma'am,
na?
yung screenshot po nung mga
Okay.
member.
Oh, next. Group 5. Ganda, ganda. Ako, mataas yung sinimulan ni ano ah.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Maganda
Thank you
yung
po.
susunod para paganda ng paganda. Ha? Okay. Nagre-ready na pa si Group 5. Wow. Ganda naman ng presentation. Okay. Go.
So, good afternoon everyone. This is the presentation of our Group 5. I am Ilya Gillian or Paglinawan, the project manager of our group. So, the name of our C++ project is V5 Contacts, and it is a contact management system. So, what is the project?
So, good afternoon everyone. This is the presentation of our group, Group 5. I am Ilya Gillian or Paglinawan, the project manager of our group. So, the name of our C++ project is V5 Contacts, and it is a contact management system. So, all about, next slide po.
Manage the details of a person. It stores information such as name, phone number, and email address.
Doon din po nanggaling yung app name po na V5 Contacts. So, ito po, project description po. So, V5 Contacts is a tool that enables users to organize and manage the details of a person. It stores information such as name and email address. So, the system has 4 main functions. 1 is to add contacts that you wish to save. 2 is to list all contacts that are saved in the system. 3, search for the contacts that you wish to find. And 4 is to delete contacts that you wish to remove. So basically po, this system or app lets user to compile all the contacts in one record. So next slide po is si Eliza Sambuena.
Function of maintaining and managing data about clients, customers' contact data.
For the project scope, number 1, describe the work to be accomplished. The system creates several forms of data that may be utilized for different reasons. It organizes search information, and it is maintaining and managing data about clients. Customers' contact data is entered into contact management software for storage, easy access, editing, and tracking. Number 2, what's the purpose or business need for the project? To make the most of resources by boosting their output via technology. This is especially useful if you have a large number of contacts to manage or several persons who require access to the information. Number 3, who are the stakeholders or users? Users could be either employees who have access to the customer relationship system or holding areas for accounts that aren't being handled by a specific individual at the moment, such as customer accounts. Stakeholders are people from all areas of life who are engaged in or affected by the system success. Next is object.
Our technical objective using the IDEs mentioned is to be able to fully design and implement.
Hello, my name is Lorenzo and I'm tasked with explaining the objectives of our system. The two main project objectives in our system is the technical and scheduled objectives. Our technical objective using the IDEs mentioned is to be able to fully design and implement a C++ project. The scheduled objective is to produce a working system or game, in our case, a working system within the semester. Next slide for the deliverables. Our contact management design includes the following purposes. One, to store contact information. Two, give you a list of every contact information stored. That's third, lets you search for your contact manually and unwanted contact information. Include client slash user requirements. Of course, our system design is for everyone who's able to operate the system, especially those who find keeping track of contact information troublesome. And for the flowchart, I shall call Princess on. Thank you.
Hello, rinig po ba, ma'am? Okay, so for the flowchart, I am Princess Denise Ong and I'll be presenting the flowchart of our contact management system, the V5 contacts. So from the start, as soon as the user runs the program, the system will display the main menu function wherein there are 5 choices the user could choose from. And the system will read the user's input from the following choices. So first, if the which is the create new contact function, the system will ask for the details of the contact that the user wants to save to the system, and the system will read the input from the user. So if the contact has been saved, then the system will display contact has been saved successfully, and it will go back to the menu. If the contact has an error or has not been saved, then the system will display error opening file, and it will go back to the main menu function. Next, if the user wants to see the contacts function, as soon as the user presses choice 2, the system will display the list of all saved contacts and it will go back to the main menu function again. Next, if the user pressed 3, which is function, the system will ask for the name of the contact that the user wants to find in the system. It could be by their first name, last name, or full name, and the system will read the user's input. So if the contact exists, then the system will display the details of the search contact by the user and it will go back to the main menu function. If the contact doesn't exist, then the system will display, sorry, contact not found, and it will go back to the main menu function. Next, user press 4, which is the delete contact function, the system will ask for the name of the contact that the user wants to delete in the system. It could be by their first name, last name, or full name. And the system will read the user's input. So if the contact exists and has been deleted, then the system will display contact deleted and it will go back to the main menu function. If the contact doesn't exist, then the system will display not found and it will go back to the main menu function. Last option, if the user enters 5, which is the exit function, the system will display, thank you for using V5 contacts, and the system will stop and close. Lastly, if the user presses any number that isn't included in the choices from the main menu, the system will display invalid, please press any other option. Then the system will go back to the main menu function to ask the user again to choose from the choices. For the success factors, 1. Clients or stakeholders or user satisfied. 2. Met project objectives. As seen and declared in previous slides, project objectives were met. Next, please. For the roles and responsibilities, we assigned Tia Gillian for the project manager, and I was assigned to take the role of technical writer. And for our system analyst, we have Mr. Riega Lorenzo Antonio and Ms. Magno Catherine. For the business analyst, we have Sambuena Eliza, and for our programmers, we have Mr. Luna Joshua Nathaniel and Mr. Nilooban Nathaniel. For the next slide, it will be presented by Catherine
Our
Magno.
project's objectives, scopes, and deliverables, which were discussed earlier, have been planned out during this stage. Next is the development
Implementation.
of our system, which
So
is done by
next,
a repeated cycle of creating,
first
testing,
is
and
tasks or
improving the codes.
activities.
And
Our
lastly, the
group's task is to
presentation.
produce a contact
Procedures.
management
We
system.
made use of the agile
Design.
methodology
Our
Scrum for the
project's
project
objectives,
development.
scopes, and
This
deliverables,
involves the
which were
use of
discussed earlier,
iterative
have
and
been planned
incremental
out
work
during this
development for
stage.
constant improvement.
Next is the
It
development
is
of
a
our
cycle of the
system,
process
which
of
was done by
planning,
repeating,
executing, and
testing, and
evaluating.
improving the codes.
Next were the
And
tools
lastly, the
or technology.
presentation.
Procedures. We made use of the Agile methodology Scrum for the project development. This involves the use of iterative and incremental work and development for constant improvements. It is a cycle of the process of planning, executing, and evaluating. Next, for the tools or technology. We use Dev C++ in developing our program. Last, project change control process. We used Scrum using the iteration process. The iteration process is a repeated review and testing of instructions or codes until a specific result is achieved. The purpose of this is to identify and correct the possible errors or defects during the development process. Next slide, please.
And we are now presenting our finished project today, which is May 20,
The project schedule and milestones.
we call on Nathan for the
We
project
identified the
presentation.
project that we wanted to create on May 22 of this year. Project design on May 24. Then we started developing it the day after, which is May 25. And we are now presenting our finished project today, May 28. So may we call on Nathan for the project presentation.
I am Nathaniel Nilaban, and along with Joshua Luna, we will be presenting the app. As soon as the user opens the app, the first thing that they will see is the menu screen. And in here, the user will see the 5 options listed, which are create new contacts.
I am Nathaniel Nilaban, and along with Joshua Luna, we will be presenting the app.
They will need to enter the
As soon as
corresponding
the
number of
user
choice.
opens the app, the first thing that they will see is the menu screen. And in here, the user will see the 5 options listed, which are create new contacts, search contact, delete contact, and the exit. Did you enter the corresponding number of your choice? The first choice is to create new contact. Here, the user will enter the first name, last name,
Here,
and enter the 11-digit phone number.
contact has been saved successfully. The next choice is the contact, which will
Lastly, the
simply list
email.
the currently saved contact from the text file.
Here,
The next choice, and the next
it will
choices will now be
show
explained
that the
by Joshua.
contact has been saved successfully.
Now let's
The
proceed
next
to the
choice
third option,
is the contact,
the searching
which
of
will
contacts.
simply list
So let's
the
input
currently
number
saved
3,
contacts from the
and
text file.
yan ang magiging prompt. Then
And
search
the next
contact.
choice,
Now,
and the next choices will now be explained by Joshua Luna.
Now let's proceed to the third option, the searching of contacts. So let's input number 3. And yan ang magiging prompt, yung search contact. Now, we just put the name.
Can you
Okay lang yung first name.
can you close it and let's try to ano?
If we enter, lilitaw yung phone number
Can you search another?
and yung ating email.
And let's
But
see what's
otherwise,
the ano,
kung mali yung
how does it
pagkakatype
fail?
mo, wala siyang mahahanap. Because it is case sensitive.
Okay.
So,
Alright.
so you can see, medyo case sensitive po kasi yung code namin.
Okay.
So, sorry, contacts not found. So, we're done at searching a contact. Proceed na tayo sa deleting a contact. So, option 4. Wait. Yeah, so as you can see, medyo case sensitive po kasi yung code namin. So, sorry, contacts not found. So, we're done at searching a contact. Proceed na tayo sa deleting a contact. So, option 4. Wait. So, as you can see, you should write the first name of what would be our delete. So, yan, hanapin niya kung meron.
So this is a continuing loop.
Ilalagay natin yung first name and last name.
Which is 0 for exit.
So as you can see, the contact is deleted. So mawawala na siya dun sa ating database. So that's all 4 functions of our simple contact management system. So this is a continuing loop except i-terminate siya ng user, which is 0 for exit.
First off, I will show the main
Next
function.
is yung ating code.
Here, it will show the main menu, and this is where the users will input their choice, and the implementation of the text file is also.
the, the iOS stream and F stream, which is necessary for the app to run.
Force will then go through if statements which will
First
lead
off,
them
I
to
will
their
show
respective
the
functions.
main function.
The first
Here,
choice
it will show the main menu, and this is where the
is the
users
add
will
contact
input their
function.
choice, and the implementation of the text file
Here,
is also here, which will serve as
it
the
will
file
ask
where the contacts will be,
will ask the
will be
user to
stored
input the
through
necessary
if statements which will
information
lead them to
contact
their
information.
respective functions. The first choice will be the add contact function.
Contact information will then be stored
Here,
in the text file, which will then
it will ask
be used for later.
the user to input the necessary information, contact information,
will lead to the function for listing the contacts currently saved by the user.
and
It is
contact
a simple
information
while
will then be
where the app
stored
will take the
in
information
the
from the
text file,
and
which
input
will
it
then
into
be
the app.
used for
The
later
next choices will be
for the
discussed
function, for the other function.
So the next function,
And the second choice
contact function,
will lead to the function for listing the contacts currently saved by the user. It is a simple while loop where the app will take the information to input it into the app.
in which i-read po
The
niya
next
yung
choices
data
will be
from
discussed
file,
by Joshua.
which is number.txt.
So the next function, meron din po kaming search contact function. Meron pong void search contact in which kinukuha niya yung characters and the code will take the boolean to check kung may existing na contact in which i-read po niya yung data from file which is number.txt using while loop and we use the if condition if yung keyword is equal to the name print
Find records in which
is equal to the name printed data sa ating console. And if not, the data is not found. And our last function is the delete function.
if the characters are the same or match dun sa input ng user.
Now, in the delete function is we find records in which we use character the code should count. And hahanapin po niya yun sa database. And we have this boolean to check if it is true. And while loop, and we use while loop to check if the characters are the same or match dun sa input ng user. Now, if not, then no data is found and mapoprompt na sorry, contact is not
What's
found.
next?
And that's for the fourth function.
Yun na ba yun?
And that's it. The overall app or our
Meron pa kayo
code.
pe-present? Okay. Nandyan na rin lang yung inyong code. Tingnan natin. I-share nyo muna yung code. Okay. Tingnan ko yung taas. Yun yung mga headers. Ang ginamit yung header. Sige. Yung sa ano? Sa una. Taas ka pa. Yan. Taas pa. Yan. Okay. So, naggamit kayo ng F-stream. IO-stream. Okay. Andun yung first ano. Okay. Right. Sige, baba. Ayan. Meron akong tanong dyan. Dyan sa portion na yan. Wait. Baba. Ayan. So, this is a contact management, ano. Will there ever be, ano ba ang question ko? Ang question ko is, if halimbawa mabenta nyo to, and the customer wanted to include more data, can it expand? Ayan. Yun yung tanong ko. Kasi you have here last name, first name, phone number, email, and I think may contact number. Ayan, yung ano, yung phone number. What if kailangan pang magdagdag ng dalawang type ng data? Meron ba siyang room to ano, to improve? Yung developer natin. Sino yung ano? Siyempre kahit yung project manager.
Yes po. Ayan na po yung na-finalist namin. But you can still add more information na general users would like to put in their information po.
So, pwede pa. Pwede siya.
Yes
Pwede
po.
siyang i-expand. Okay. So, meron kayong...
Yes po.
hindi lang, ayan lang po yung na-finalize namin. But
Meron kayong
information
output
na
ng logs? Pinakita nyo
general
kanina.
users would like to put
Ay,
in their
meron ba
information
siyang
po.
output ng logs? Mali yung tanong ko. Doon pala
Yes
sa
po.
kabila yun. Meron ba siyang output ng logs? Once na na-create na tong data. Punta kayo doon sa sa installation yan. Tingnan nyo baka meron. Meron na kayong exe file eh. Yeah. It's okay. Yung logs. Logs is within the folder. Tingnan nyo kung saan yung folder nitong tong B5 contact management system. Tingnan nyo kung nag-create siya ng logs. Kasi nag-create kayo ng data dyan eh. So, most likely meron yan. Hindi nyo palang nakikita. Yung logs, that is a text file created from having an output. Kasi ang output nyo dyan is yung contact. Hindi nyo pa siguro na-try yan, no? Okay. No. Punta ka, yan, dyan sa folder. Sige, taas mo siya. Para makita natin. Sige, taas mo, yan. Tapos punta ka sa C. Yung system. Yung system na C. Taas mo nga ng konti para makita natin. Baka dyan palang makikita na natin kung nasa folder yung
Wait po ma'am, yung number po na yan po, yung number, yan po yung logs.
Yan na yung logs. So wala siyang laman?
Kasi yung ginawa po kanina is dinilit din po yung
okay. So, sige, lagyan mo nga ng data, tingnan natin.
Excuse me po ma'am, yung number po na yan po, yung number, yan po yung logs. Opo. Kasi yung ginawa po kanina is dinilit din po yung wala din po.
Bagal lang yan, no? Ayun, tumitaw na. Okay. So, balik ka dun sa code. Buksan mo yung code. Tapos, mag-search ka. Mag-search ka dyan sa code. Hanapin mo yung number. Ayan o, find. Ayan. Tapos number. Sige. Find. Find mo. Ayan. So, yan yung, yan yung lilitaw na, number, no? Na number na file. So, pinangalanan nyo sila na number. Pero, pwede mo rin namang, pwede mo siyang pata na, na output. Kasi yan ay contact, diba? Contact management. So, ayun lang, no? Pwede nyo ibahin. Pwede ibahin nyo yung number. Number na pangalan. Okay. Okay, yun lang naman ang aking, yun lang naman ang aking question sa inyo. Tinitingnan ko lang yung output at kung nag-output ba siya properly dun sa ating ginawang features ng system. Okay? Alright, good job. Simple lang siya pero maayos ha. Maayos yung presentation, no? Okay? Good job. At dahil dyan, meron tayong yay! Okay! Palakpak naman dyan. O, magbigay kayo ng palakpak na online. Meron dyan eh. Saan ba yun? bigyan nyo naman ng palakpak na online yung mga kaklase nyo. Congratulations sa mga nakatapos na. Group 4 din, no? Ayan, next, Group 2. Group 2.
Hello po. Naririnig po ako?
Yes.
Mag-screen share lang po ako. Wait lang po.
Okay. Sinisipon ka talaga.
Hello po. Naririnig po ako?
Hello po.
Mag-screen share lang po ako. Wait lang po.
Ako na yung sarili ko.
Wait lang po ah. Hello po. Kita na po? Ayan. So, let's start na po. So, good afternoon everyone. Welcome to Group 2 Songtari C++ project entitled Mexicoy. Before we proceed, let's first familiarize ourselves with the flow of our presentation for today.
Ayan. So, let's start na po.
Project description and then we'll
So,
proceed to
good
project
afternoon
scope. We will
everyone.
also tackle our objectives and
Group
the
2 Songtari C++ project entitled Mekogoy. Before we proceed, let's first familiarize ourselves with the flow of our presentation for today. So first we'll talk about project description and then we'll proceed to project scope. We will also tackle our objectives and the deliverables of our program. Next, we'll discuss the success factors and you will also get to know our development team and their respective roles. We will also cover the procedures and methodology under implementation with a complete layout of our schedule and milestones. Of course, we will also present the source code of our program together with a complete demo on how to use it. Lastly, we'll have an allotted time for question and answer portion so we can address your inquiries properly. Now, without further ado, let's begin with the question, what is Nekogoy? Neko is a Japanese and Goy is a Japanese word for thought. We came up with this name because Nekogoy is a simple C++ game application that is intended to be utilized as an interactive teaching material. So our clients and stakeholders from academic institutions such as teachers, parents, guardians, and even students themselves can use the program to aid in the expansion of their vocabulary. It has multiple features to be discussed later that encourage its users to engage and learn. But what does our project Nekogoy cover? First, as I have mentioned, it is a simple desktop game application that aims to expand the vocabulary of our users. It allows for daily input of words and definitions by the instructor and then allows the students to guess the word letter by letter. After the game, the program also allows for input of how the students manage to use the word of the day in a sentence. And then it prints it out as a summary for the instructor to check. Moreover, this game is all put together by the adventurous story of Mimi the cat. Next, Nekogoy and its developers, the Santari team, aims to introduce and provide interactive learning of new words every day, which is how our game helps to expand the user's vocabulary that may consequently lead also to better comprehensive skills. And lastly, Nekogoy is primarily focused in providing services towards schools and academic institutions. To be specific, we aim for clients from teachers, guardians, and even students themselves. Now that we are done with the project scope, let me introduce to you Ms. Angelica Jimenez to discuss objectives.
In the process of implementing our project, we used the C++.
Thank you, Pamela. So, on to the objectives. We have two categories, technical objective and schedule objective. So for the technical objective, the first one is utilize Dev C++ as the mass implement the project. In the process of implementing our project, we use Dev C++ as the master compiler. Second is to help users and stakeholders achieve wider vocabulary through interactive teaching. And last, encourage learning through immersive methods. For the second objective, for the schedule objective, first one is implement a fully functional and thorough C++ program with simple first quarter of second semester 2021 to 2022, which we have already achieved. By the end of first quarter of second semester, we were able to implement a fully functional, simple C++ program named NecoGoe. For the second objective, launch a finalized version
Thank you,
complete with
Angelica.
graphical user
After the
interface
description,
and
scope, and
upgraded
objectives,
features by the
you
end
may
of
be
second
wondering,
semester
what are the actual
2021 to
deliverables of
2022.
NecoGoy? Well,
Assuming we
let's hear it
remain
from
as
Kyla
group mates
Kapanay
up
and
to the
Janelle
making
Rojas.
occasion for the final project, this will be our main and final goal. That's it for objectives. Thank you.
Thank you, Angelica. After the description, scope, and objectives, you may be wondering, what are the actual deliverables of NecoGoy? Well, let's hear it from Kyla Kapanay and Janelle Rojas.
For the internal deliverable, initial system code, number two, testing and debugging result, number three, final system code, number four, executable file, number five, instruction manual and documentation. Next is system logo. Next slide, please. For the external deliverable, these are the external deliverable modules that we have implemented. Number one, optimization module. Number two, game module. Number three, summarization module. And number four is exit module. That would be all. Thank you. Um,
Now let's move on to our program's flowchart. Remember that our program requires two users, which are the teacher and the student. At first, the first user, while the student will be the next. When the teacher runs the program, the background music will start playing. After that, the teacher will be asked to press any key and press enter for the application to start. Then, the system greetings and instructions to teachers, and it will ask the teacher to enter his chosen word of the day and its definition. This time, the user will be the student. Just like when the teacher starts, the system will also display greetings and instructions to students. After that, the system will ask the student to enter his name and the game will finally begin. The system will ask if they are ready to guess the given word by his teacher. If the student press 2, which means he is not ready to guess, the system will simply exit, and if the student press 1, which means he is ready to guess, the program will display the given word but concealed by asterisk. Let's say that the student press 1. The next thing he will do is to guess a letter. If the letter is incorrect, the chances he has will note that there are only 6 chances, and if the letter is correct, it will fill the asterisk. This loop will repeat until the slots of the given word is fulfilled. But if the student used his all attempts and still not guess the word, the system will display that he lost and recommends to try again, but the system will reveal first the word and its definition. Able to guess the word, the system will display greetings and will also reveal the word and its definition. Whether the student able to guess or not the word, he must use it into a sentence because our program's goal is to expand one's vocabulary. Thus, the system will ask the student to enter his constructed sentence. Therefore, the program entered sentence. And lastly, the system will ask if the student wants to exit.
Ayan.
If the,
Thank you,
if the
Kyla and
student
Janelle.
press
I
1,
hope now
the
that
system will
you've been able
simply
to
exit,
imagine how
and if
NecoGoy
the
was built.
student
But
press
before
2,
we get to
it
that,
will
let's
print
first
again the
identify the
sentence
client or
created by
user
the student.
requirements for our program.
And that's
Well,
where our
any
program
student,
ends.
teacher, or parent with appropriate gadgets such as PCs and laptops can avail the services of NecoGoy. Ayan. Thank you, Kyla and Jane. Now that you can kind of imagine how Nakogoy would run. But before we get to that, let's first identify the client or user requirements for our program. Well, any student, teacher, or parent with appropriate gadgets such as PCs and laptops can avail the services of Nakogoy. But why should they? Well, it's because Nakogoy implements an immersive learning system or ILS that follows specific methods of teaching such as kinesthetic and visual styles that help achieve its goal of widening the user's vocabulary. Now that Nakugoy's scope, objectives, and deliverables have been discussed, let's move on to the factors that determine our project success. For these factors, we wanted to be thorough and specific upon determining the potential of Nakugoy's success. Hence, we divided these factors into two types, the qualitative and quantitative factors. We considered qualitative factors that provide us with subjective and descriptive evaluations of our product, such as application reviews, comments, recommendations, and remarks. On the other hand, we also wanted to collect numerical data that we can use to calculate the success of Nakugoy's goals and objectives. These are test scores, application ratings, number of objectives accomplished, and student engagements collected through quantitative research instruments. Next, let's go to naman yung team behind Nekogoy. I proudly present to you the Santari developer team. Santari, our developer name, was pitched by Gladeline Compassion, and the reason behind our name is it was a wordplay on the phrase cats on sanctuary. So, let's get to know each member and the role they played to make Nekogoy possible. I'll start. Ayan. Hi, I am Pamela May Aliven, project manager of Santari. I am responsible for overseeing each tasks of each member, as well as being the consultant for issues or problems that may arise. Next, we have
So, hello, my name is Maria Angelica G. Jimenez, assigned as the technical writer. My task was to compile, arrange our documentation, and make a user manual for the people that will be using our program. Next,
Hi, I am Maria Carla A. Kapanay.
And we are the system analysts.
Our role is to illustrate how our program works by using a flowchart.
next,
Hi, I'm Gladys Compassion.
And I am John Rolf Balunes, and we are the business analyst. Business analyst is we check the process of the system and we collaborate on the system.
Specific instruction in our program.
Next.
Hi, I'm Kale.
Hello, I'm Angel.
And we are the programmers of the Santari team.
We are the one who writes the codes in code to give specific instruction in our program.
And we dedicate our time and exert so much effort to make it possible for you to use our very engaging.
So we hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
Ayan, thank you Santari. Now that you have been introduced to the people behind Nekogoy, let's dive into our methods of implementing the project. Let's welcome John Rolf Balunes and Gadaline Compassion to discuss project implementation.
So, good afternoon po ulit. Para naman po sa implementation, sa part 1, nilati po namin siya. Yung first part po is about the procedures, tasks, and activities. So, let us first discuss what are the first part, how we break down these things into logical perspective. So, number 1 po is brainstorming stage. So, we conducted a 30-minute meeting para po magbigay ng ideas or mag-conceptualize po kung anong klaseng app ang gagawin namin. And so number 2 po is the program identification stage where so as we give the ideas po sa brainstorming stage, sa stage po na ito, gumawa po kami ng simple call kung alin po yung gusto namin for the app ang gagawin namin. After that po, nag-build po kami ng scope kung ano lang po yung sakop ng app na yun. And number 3 po is sa drafting stage. Naggawa po kami dito lang po namin i-execute yung app, paano po namin siya ma-deliver sa mga users kung paano po nila in-navigate yun. Nag-assign din po kami ng roles sa part na po ito and para po malaman kung sino po yung sa project manager, technical writer, system and business analyst, and the programmers. Sa number 4 po is the program tracing, nag-conduct din po kami dito ng 3 phases, tinawag po na revision and final phase. So, each phase po na ito, nag-conduct po kami ng 2 sprints na which is the 15-minute meeting na kamusta sa work kung na-assign sa bawat member. Looking kung may progress na ba yung nabuo sa part na binigay sa amin. And next po is the testing stage. Ito po yung part na nag-test kami internally na kami na po mga members. And as we confirm naman po na nag-run po siya exactly how we want, nagpa-try po kami externally sa others po maliban naggawa pa and nag-gather din po kami ng ratings and comments na later po ipapakita po namin sa inyo kung ano po yung ratings na tanggap namin. And lastly po, yung launching stage, ito po yung last phase po na na-complete na po ng presentation, mga ilalagay po sa PPT, mga parts namin kung saan mag-report, and yung finalization po ng documentation namin and ng user manual na ginawa namin. So, yun lang po sa part 1 ng implementation, and sa part 2 po ng implementation, Mr. Balunes will provide explanation. Thank you po.
Hello po, para naman po sa implementation ng tools, technology, and control process, para sa tools po, ang main compiler po na ginamit ng mga programmer namin ay ang DevSIT. At Discord, Google Meet, ito naman po ang application na ginamit namin na platform na upang magkaroon ng collaboration, brainstorming, or mapag-usapan ng concept ng project. At po yung Google Docs, dito po namin kinocompile ang mga presentation at yung output ng gawa namin. At mga device na ginamit namin para sa project at mag-collaborate for ideas ay desktop, PCs, laptop, and mobile. For change control process naman po, Scrum po ang ginamit namin kung saan may sprint po ito na kung saan mayroong 15 minutes na meeting. Upang magkaroon ng updates, o problema na may encounter, mabigyan itong solusyon at reconfiguration. Thank you po. Next slide.
Ayun. Thank you, John Rolf and Glad. We now have here is yung laid out schedule of our team's 6-day intensive work period. So, intensive siya, madadescribe ko siya later why. So, if we compare this to larger projects behind much more known programs, we know that 6 days wouldn't be definitely sufficient. However, considering that everyone on the Santari developer team is a team player, responsible, and are efficient, proud to say that we were able to finish Nekogoy within a 6-day intensive period. Intensive siya kasi I know that our programmers as well as yung iba naming members, they do their tasks until the ungodly hours. Yung talagang puyat na puyat sila. Makikita ko sila nasa Discord pa nagpo-pro. And nevertheless, we were thorough and committed to this schedule. That's why we were able to finish Nekogoy successfully. Ayan. For additional information, we wanted to provide you with a quick summary of our testing stage. So internally, meaning that we criticized our own program, and here are the ratings from the Santari team. So we got 1 3-star rating, 4 4-star rating, and 3 5-star rating, and a total of 4.25 out of 5 internally. Moreover, we also tested externally with the help of our friends and family. We gathered about 25 people to test our program, and they provided us with the following ratings that resulted to a total of 4.4 out of 5. And that's everything that you should know. Again, we're the Santari developer team, and we proudly present to you Nekogoy. Ito po pala, photo documentation lang ng external testing, a family member testing. Ayan. Now, let's proceed to the presentation of our game. And let's click play. Yes. Okay. Ayan.
So, ayan po, upon running our program, makita nyo na po ang aming welcoming interface ng game. From this point, mag-start na po yung background music na magbibigay na mas appealing and exciting. So, ayan, yung enter, press any key lang po tayo and enter to start the game. Ayan. So, ayan po, nadi-display po ang mga instructions for teachers. Tapos, pag-aas po yung program ng enter word of the day. So, enter word of the day po tayo. Enter lang natin yung word na day. Enter lang. Next, mag-aas naman po ng what's an significant or definition po ng word na yun. So, enter lang po tayo na unclear meaning at the word. Then, enter lang
lang po tayo. Next, mapupunta naman po siya sa interface for students. So, naka-display na po yung instructions yan for the students to be guided how to play the game and mag-a-ask po ng name. So, as the name, lagay na lang po natin yung name ko, Angel. And enter lang po. And then, ina-ask niya rin po kung ready na to guess. So, press 1 lang po tayo since ready na tayo. Press 1. So, yan po. Next, dito na po tayo sa guessing part na interface. So, yan, naka-display po yung how many words, letters, and definition. Nandun siya present po. So, enter lang po tayo ng first. Guess po tayo yung letter B, letter tama. Ayan, naka-display po na may chances na pa rin po na congratulations. Tama po yan. And pag tama po lahat, try po natin itama po lahat. Nakita po natin na still rare and victory. Next, tama po may summarization. Our word of the day is great. Naka-display na po pati definition. And mag-a-ask po yung program if nagamitin po natin as a sentence. O gamitin lang po natin passive basic term. Enter lang po. Tapos madi-display na po kung ano po yung in-enter natin na sentence and press 1 to exit tayo. Ayun po. So, naman po, try naman po natin in running the game pag defeat naman po. Kung paano po mangyayari sa program. So, ayan, welcome po. Enter lang po ulit tayo. Tapos, yun po ulit yun. Kung ano po yung definition, enter lang po natin ulit. And then, yung name, enter lang po. Press 1, yes. So, pag i-guess naman po natin na mali, try po natin i-guess din ng mali. Na makikita po natin na nabawasan po yung number of chances left and then yung part po ng fish. And meron din po dun na sinisignal niya po na mali nga po yung word. Next, try lang po natin. So, ayan po. Magmamali po yan and babawasan ng mababawasan po yung kada maling letter na enter po natin. Ayan. Hanggang sa maubos na po and wala na po stock si Mimi dahil nga po defeat. So, meron na po message na you lost, restart the game to try again. And gagamitin lang po natin ulit sa sentence. Exit lang po.
Hanggang ilang try siya?
So, guys po nag-run yung Nekoboy game.
6 try.
Opo, may 6 chances po.
Wait po, ma'am.
Alright. Sige. Tingnan ko nga yung code.
Yes po. We're going to proceed now sa code. So, let's welcome Jill Castro.
Hanggang 6 try.
Ipakita sa atin yung code.
Opo, may 6 chances po.
Okay.
Yes po, now sa code. So, let's welcome Kiel Castro para ipakita sa atin yung code.
Na IO stream, string, CST library, STDIO.h, and Windows tsaka MM system. So, sa IO stream po,
Wait lang po, ma'am. Share ko lang po yung screen. Hello po, kita na po ba?
Para sa lahat po ng string na
So, ito po yung sa code namin. Gumamit po kami ng mga headers na IOStreams, library, stdio.h, and Windows tsaka MM system. So, sa IOStream po, ginamit po namin siya para sa basic input and output. Sa string naman po, para sa lahat po ng string na functions. Then sa CST library para po sa exit na function, tsaka yung sa system clear screen function po yan. Then sa stdio po para sa get line po na para sa sentence, then sa Windows para sa music, then ganun din po sa system. So, eto kaming 4 na functions na ginawa. Yung sa show header for teacher, show header for students, and victory defeat tsaka sa music.
Ito po yung namin function para sa
Namin yung variables. Ito po yung mga variables na dineclare. Then, ayun nga po, meron po kaming 6 na tries or yun po yung chances na pwede pong i-attempt. Tapos po, gumamit din po kami ng bool para po sa true and false na result.
Then ayun po, ito po yung namin yung function para sa teacher. Sa function na to, yung lumalabas sa screen ng teacher, which is yung pag mag input po sila ng word of the day, at saka yung pag mag input po ng definition. Next naman pong function is yung sa students. Sa students naman po, dito po nila ini-input yung ito po yung header na lumalabas po niyan. Mamaya makikita nyo po. Lalabas yung mag input po sila ng name and then i-ask kung ready na po ba sila mag-play. Next pong function is yung sa victory repeat. Ito pong function po na to, ito po yung lumalabas sa dulo ng game. Either manalo po or matalo yung student, lalabas po to. So, makikita po dito na yung summarization po nung game. Makikita po yung word of the day, tapos yung definition. Papagamit po siya papayuse po yung word sa student para mag-create po sila ng sentence. Tapos ayun po, gumamit po kami ng getline kasi nga po, para hindi po ilang yung spaces sa characters at para lumabas po yung pinaka-sentence dun sa pinaka-output. Then, ayun po, lalabas po ulit yung sentence, tapos i-ask po yung name ng student kung mag-exit na po ba siya. Then, kapag nag-exit po, yung pinamit namin if-else statement. So, pag nag-press 1 siya, mag-system clear, tapos lalabas po yung exit, then mag-exit. Pero pag hindi naman po siya nag-exit, lalabas po yung no, then i-display lang po ulit yung sentence na ginawa ni student. Next naman po is yung function para sa play music. So, ito lang po yung function dahil po yung kanina pong background music na narinig nyo, dyan po siya Next po is yung sa main function. Sa main function naman po, ito po yung sa start screen namin. Ayan po yung pinaka parang header and yung bumungad po sa inyo kanina. So, ayun po, pag nag-press ka po ng any key, mag-start na po yung game. Next is yung sa teacher interface. So, ito lang po yung sa kanina po sinasabi ko na mag-enter po si teacher ng word of the day. Then, mapasok po siya sa word. Tapos po, mag-enter po siya ng definition. Then, papasok po siya sa def. Ayan po. Next po is the player interface. Yung kayo student po, hingin po yung name niya. Then, may input siya sa S name. Next naman po is yung sa are you ready to guess? Ayun, parang katulad lang din po ng kanina na pag nag-press 1, ito naman po, nabaliktad po siya. Pag nag-press 1 po, si system clear screen, then mag-proceed sa game. Then, pag hindi naman po nag-press 1, ma-exit po yung game. Next po, ito po yung letters that are guessed by the player. So, ayan po, gumamit po kami ng array. Yung sa previous guesses po, ito po yung kanina, yung mga letter na ginigiles po ng student, nagdi-display po siya kung anong letter na po yung parang nagamit niya dun sa game. Next naman po, to make the word a mystery. So, kanina po, di ba nakikita nyo kung yung mga asterisk, yun po yung parang hidden letter na ni-use para hindi para mahulaan yung so ayun po, may word lang siya kasi kung ilang letters yung word of the day, then convert siya sa asterisk na symbol. Then ayun po sa guessing part interface. So show header for students, yung kaninang header lang po para sa students. Next, eto po, gumamit po kami ng while loop. Then, under po dito, habang nag-guess po si student, makikita po yung, lalabas po yung the word you have to guess. Tapos, makikita po dun yung mga asterisk na hidden letters. Then, after po nun, pag nag-guess niya po yun, lalabas po dito sa you have guessed. Kung ano po yung mga guess niyang letters. Then, is yung get player guess. So, dito lang po ma-i-input yung letter na nilagay ni student. Next naman po, check if the guess is correct. So, ito po, kailangan naman mag-match yung nilagay na letter dun sa hidden word para malaman na correct yung nilagay. Next is yung sa if statement naman po na to, lalabas kapag nanalo yung student or pag na-guess niya po lahat ng letters. Ayan po, may kita po dun yung chances left, kung ilang left na lang yung natitira. Then victory, tas yung pusa po dito, may kita po na nakuha niya na po yung fish dahil nga po nanalo si student. Tas ayun po, congratulations, Tapos yung guess po na to is yung letter na nilagay niya na last na nagtama. Next, ayun po, may function po ng victory defeat po kanina na yung summarization ng game kung saan ilalabas po yung word of the day, then yung definition po nun, tapos ipapayus po sa student yung word of the day sa sentence. Next, eto po, sa if-else statement. Tapos dito po pinapakita yung kung pagmali ng enter, tapos sa ilalim po siya ng mga picture ng pusa. So kapag mali ka ng enter na letter, makikita na sorry, blank of the word. So kapag tama naman po, congratulations, kung anong letter po yung nilagay is one of the letters. Next, gumamit po kami ng switch case statement. Sa switch case, 7 po na cases yung ginamit namin. So sa case 6, dito po pinapakita yung kapag unang guess niya po ay tama, ito po yung lalabas, kompleto po yung fish. Then kapag nagkamali po agad siya, mapupunta po siya sa case 5, which is nabawasan ng tail. Tapos kapag yun po, ulit-ulit na mali siya, nagdi-disappear yung tail, yung structure ng fish. Tapos nag-iiba din po yung emotion ng pusa. Ayun po, parang naiinis na po siya. Then sa case 1, konti na lang po yung structure ng fish and natatakot na po yung pusa. Tapos kapag natalo po yung student, ayan po yung lalabas, yung sa try again. Tapos ayan po, wala na pong fish. Ayan lang po. Thank you.
So, yun lang po for our code. Now, balik na po tayo doon sa aming presentation. Wait lang po, mag-screen share lang po ako.
Thank you. Ayan, so thank you Kale for discussing kung paano
So, yan. Kita na po.
So, proceed naman po tayo for Q&A portion. Any questions about our project?
Ayan, kita niyo na po yung screen. Okay. Thank you. Ayan, so thank you Kale for ayun nga, discussing kung paano nila i-node or ginawa yung program. So, proceed naman po tayo for Q&A portion. Any questions about our project is welcome, of course. Please do raise your hand, open your mic, or type your inquiries through the chat box para ma-address namin sila properly.
Meron ba kayong ibang subject after this? Kasi di ba hanggang 2 to 4 tayo? Meron? Wala? Justin? Wala? Okay, so pwede natin tapusin, no? Tapusin natin. Nag-extend na lang ako dun sa kabilang klase. Okay. Right, so yung tanong ko is buksan nyo nga yung code para makita ko yung code. Connected dun sa Paki-share yung code na kanino yun.
Nakikita po ito.
So, you have how many question in this, ilan yung nakaset na question?
Nakalagay po sa PowerPoint is 3 questions po.
3 questions. No, ito na yung question ko. So, you have 3 questions. Can it accommodate more question? And what will be the minimum?
Lagay po sa PowerPoint is 3 questions po.
Po saan, ma'am?
Yung questions dito. Di ba may guessing game kayo dito?
So, yung program po kasi namin is designed for a daily activity po. So, for every day na para ma-expand yung vocabulary mo, every day mag-memorize ka ng isang word.
Question po saan, ma'am?
Ginawa po namin sa program namin is nag-implement lamang po kami ng 1 word per day.
So yung comment is designed for a daily activity po. So for every day na para ma-expand yung vocabulary mo, every day mag-memorize ka ng isang word. So ideally, ang ginawa po namin sa program namin is nag-implement lamang po kami ng 1 word per day or per gamit ng program. Pero if you want to
para mahulaan siya,
to guess or designate 3 words per day, pwede naman po i-restart na lang yung program. Pero ay po, isang word lang po ang huhulaan.
Bali mag-a-ask
Yes.
game or yung program po namin sa teacher kung ano po yung guessing word na
So meron po kami, kaya na po na yata ni Angel, since ikaw nag-discuss kanina.
I mean, dyan sa system, naka-load na ba siya? Or isi-set nyo?
Bali, mag-a-ask
like,
po
manghihingi ba kayo ng word of
game
the
or
day
yung program
ano
po
ba?
namin sa teacher kung guessing word na papagamit po sa students.
That's what you did initially, di ba?
Meron po kaming...
Tama?
Yes, ma'am.
Tapos,
May interface po for teachers na mag-i-input po sila doon ng word of the day as well as yung definition.
Ayun po, ma'am. Mag-a-ask po, manghihingi po ng word of the day po.
Okay, got it. Okay, simple lang siya pero mapapaisip ka,
Yes,
no?
ma'am.
Kasi ano siya eh.
May interface
mini
po for
quiz.
teachers na mag-i-input po sila doon ng
Mini guessing game.
word of the day as well as yung definition.
So, anong
May
plano
instructions na din po
Are you
doon
going
para
to
alam po ng
expand this
teacher.
as a complex guessing game?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, nung nag-decide na po kami which program or project we want to do, nag-decide po kami na itong Nekogoy, it's because meron din po siyang potentials for expansion and more development. So, pwede po namin siyang dagdagan ng more interactive or more visually
Yes, ma'am. Actually, nung nag-decide na po kami which program or project we want to do, nag-decide po kami na itong Nekogoy, po siyang potentials for expansion and more development. So, pwede po namin siyang dagdagan ng more interactive or more visually enticing user interface na very cutesy para sa mga bata para ma-engage sila. Tapos, pwede rin po namin silang dagdagan ng features or otherwise, pwede rin po namin i-expand or i-upgrade na lang yung features ng game. Ayun po.
Yay! Okay, congratulations. Ang simple pero maganda yung presentation ninyo. So, very good, very good.
Ay, thank you po, ma'am.
Let's go!
Yung screen nila, i-show nyo lang yung sa PowerPoint, yung members and their responsibility.
Okay po, ma'am. Mag-screen share lang po ako.
Screen share mo lang yung portion mo.
Ayan, wait lang po. Ito po yun.
Okay po, ma'am. Mag-screen share lang po ako.
Ayan. Okay. 1, 2,
Ayan, wait lang.
Okay, go. Thank you. Good.
Thank you po.
Alright. So, next, group 3.
Ito po yan.
The floor is yours.
Ma'am,
Yes.
excuse me po, yung sa group din po namin, hindi po na po
Ay, oo
namin
nga pala.
screenshot.
Sorry.
Sa
Group 2.
Group 5.
Group 5 pala. Sorry.
Thank you po.
Yung members.
Sige po, ako na
Ma'am,
lang po mag-
excuse me po. Yung sa group din po namin, hindi po nakuhanan ng screenshot po. Sa group 5. Group 5 po.
Okay, good. Teka lang sandali. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. Sige. Ayan, totoo na. Group.
Sige po, ako na lang po mag-share.
Sorry.
Sige po.
Okay.
Thank you po.
Kita ka po ba, ma'am?
Yes, kita na.
So, a pleasant afternoon to everyone. We're from the group 3 and we're here to exhibit our simple application. May I call Eric to start the discussion? Kita ka po ba, ma'am? So, a pleasant everyone. We are from the group 3 and we're here to exhibit our simple application. May I call Eric to start the discussion?
Okay. Good afternoon, Ma'am Payne and classmates.
We're a group of tech and I'm here to present our simple project, which is student report card management. This project is based on the concept of recording student details, and this system allows user to store or record student page with ease. However, the students don't have access because we don't have login feature yet, so we made this program for teachers and authorized personnel only. So, what's our project all about? This is a project for a student record management system that allows you to create, access, change, and discard student records. It uses file management and displays the programming language class and object. It is highly effective and easy for beginners to understand. This is a simple project written as a console application and does not use any graphical features. Next slide, please. And student record management is built on the idea of keeping track of student information. Each functionality has a function called in the switch statement. On the user choice, control transfers to a function. Every function opens is and inserts, shows, and searches data from it. The file will be created where the C++ file is placed in secondary storage. So what's the purpose or business need for this project? The system maintains records of students on the courses for which they are registered and the status of their studies if they pass or fail. The application is distributed application because the data is stored centrally. The real system will be service-oriented and will take functionality as a set of services that could be consumed by other applicants. So who are the stakeholders and users? This project in C++ can be accessed by the academic staff and administrators across the university.
Elements in doing this student report card management system. These objectives is correct.
Next slide, please.
Number one is the technical objective, in which we use DevC++.
Thank you, Eric. Let's proceed to the objectives of our project, which serves as our guiding elements in doing this student report card management system. These objectives is categorized into two. Number one is the technical objective, in which we use DevC++ to fully design and implement the project in a C++ language. Second is the schedule objective, wherein within the semester or specifically within our team are able to produce a working system that is responsible for managing a student report card. Next.
What our team had personally accomplished in order to make this project possible. Number one.
Let us now discuss the two types of deliverables under our team's project. First is the internal deliverables, wherein this type of deliverables refers to what our team had personally accomplished in order to make this project possible. Number one, we initialize a system code in a CPP format. Number two, we tested and debugged the result of the code. Number three, we finalize the code for this project. Number four, we made this project as an executable file. Number five, after creating the system, we prepared a documentation regarding on our project. Number six, we also created a flowchart in which it shows the full functionality of our project. And lastly, number seven, we created a logo that will symbolize or will represent created, which is the student report card management system. Next.
Number one, it allows the user to create, access, modify, and delete.
Moving on to the second type of deliverables, which is the external deliverables. In contrast to the internal, this type of deliverable refers to what our project can offer to its user or client. Number one, it allows the user to create, access, delete the report card of a student. Number two, it enables the user to see whether if a student passes or fails. Number three, the program itself is created as an executable file to provide an easy access to the user. And lastly, number four, the project gives the user an option to terminate or exit the program. Next.
Next is by calling void function, it will
So, for the flow chart, the start will be by declaring the variables, loop, and functions of the program.
It will lead to input data.
Do loop was used for the restart of the program when an operation has been successfully completed.
The system
Next is by calling void
function, it will ask the user to press any key to continue to display the menu options. After that, need to input data to menu variable wherein there is two options or cases for the user to answer. The system will ask you to press 1 for the main menu and press 2 to exit. Main menu have 7 different options. Press 1 to access the operation of creating a student report card. The user will fill out students' information, name, gender, student number, grade level, and student role. It will ask the user also to fill out the student's grade in every subject. After inputting data, just press enter to save, and the system will ask the user to press any key to continue, where it will be back in the main menu for user to access the other functions, such as press 2 for viewing all students' report card, press 3 to view a scene card, press 4 if you want to modify a report card of the student, press 5 to see the result or the academic status of a student, press 6 for the operation of deleting a student report card. Lastly, press 7 to be back menu options. If the user decided to stop using the program, press 2 in the menu options to exit. Thank you. Next slides are the project team roles, implementations, and schedule to be presented by Althea Rosardania. Good afternoon po, ma'am. So for the team roles and responsibilities, we have Pido Eric Gabriel, Rizaka Juliana as technical writer, De Leon Alec as system analyst, Pio Kenneth Bryan as system analyst, Serna Rose as technical architect, Sodoy JR as business analyst, Custodio Mac as programmer 1, and lastly, Villanueva Lance Gian as programmer 2. Presentation, procedures, agile methodology, Scrum, Inputs technology, we use C++, project change control process, Scrum using iteration. For the implementations, tasks or activities, task, produce system design, development, presentation, procedures, agile methodology, Scrum, Inputs technology, we use C++, project change control process, Scrum using iteration. Project design, in project development,
Next slide po.
started code on the same date, May 21, 2022, and finished for the project schedule and milestone. Project identification started in May 18, 2022, and in May 21, 2022, we implemented the project design. In project development, our programmers started coding on the same date, May 21, 2022, and finished the system in May 26, 2022. Then for the project presentation, 2022, which is today.
I call Lance to run the program.
Dali. Walang tubig.
Okay po. Wait lang daw, Lance.
Hello po.
Okay. I'm back.
Okay
Alright.
po.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Wait lang daw,
I'm
Lance.
Gian Villanueva together with Mapolco Studio, and we are here to present on how our student record report card management system works.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lance Gian Villanueva together with Mapolco Studio, and we are here to present on how our student record report card management system works.
So at the beginning, as the user run the program, the introductory message will be executed, which is welcome. This is the student report card management system. Press any key to continue.
Yun nga po, yung makikita nyo po, hindi po siya pa na
numbers or letters.
naisip po nung grupo namin. So at the beginning, as the user run the program, the introductory message will be executed, which is welcome. This is the student report card management system. Press any key to continue. You can press any key or letters.
From this page, the user have 7 options. Now the
Next, the
user will
system will
choose
proceed to the
east
default
or heart
page and the
preferred
user can
option to
choose from two
execute and input
options.
the number of
First,
his or
main
her
menu.
chosen option.
Second,
For example, the user wants to create a student report card.
from this page, the user have 7 options. The user will choose his or her preferred option to execute and input the number of his or her chosen option. For example, the user wants to create a student report card.
This option allows the user to create a report card and you will see that the user successfully saved the data. Next, option 2. So from this option, we already made
This
some
option allows the user to create
report card of
a report
students.
card and you will see that the user successfully saved the data. Next, option 2.
And the system will display the
So from this option, we already made
report cards of the student.
some report card of students.
Ano yung data nyo?
Yes po, ma'am. And press any key
And
to
the
continue.
system will display the
Next,
report cards of the
let's
students.
proceed to option 3. To view the record of the specific student.
Yes po,
For
ma'am.
example, the user wants
And
to view the
press any key to
report
continue.
card of Althea. Just simply
Next,
or enter the number
let's
rows
proceed
of
to
Althea,
option
which
3.
is 5.
To view the record
And
of
the
the
system will
specific
display the
student.
report card or data of Althea.
For
Then
example,
press any key
the
to
user
continue.
wants to view the report card of Althea. Just simply
The other half
put
will be
the or
explained by
enter
Macpal.
the number roll of Althea, which is 5. And the system will display the report card or data of Althea. Then press any key to continue.
We must go to the modify function where we can edit or change the details.
The other half will be explained by Macpal
For
Studio.
that, press 4 to modify your
Thank you, Lan. Next is, for example, we inputted wrong details or grades for a student. We must go to the modify function where we can edit or change the details of a given student. So for that, press 4 to modify the report card. Then let's say we want to change the grades of a recently created file of a student. Say for example, Miss Althea Sardania, which is 5. Then enter new information.
Then press any key to continue. Then to double check if there are changes on the file, then view again the single student report card, press 3. Then the number roll, which is 5.
Then press any.
Then as you can see,
Then to double check if there are changes on the file, then view again the single student report card, press 3.
So, edit. Pwede siyang mag-modify.
Then the number roll, which is 5.
Yung result na gawa na.
Then as you can see, the data or the grades of the given student has. Then press any key to
window, then press 5.
So, then next is if we want to see if the student has an achievement or what kind of achievement they have obtained is we can go to the results window and press 5 for results.
Congratulations.
Then let's say the number all again, number 5.
Yung achievements po, it ranges for with highest
Then as
honors,
you can see
high
the
honors, with honors. Then if the student doesn't have this kind of remark, it's either they
then
have
as you
a
can
pass
see
or
the
fail
it has a message that
Let's try nga. Mag-ano nga kayo
student
ng
has
sample
with
ng
honors.
highest honor. Anong values?
Yung
Para makita
achievements
ko yung
for with highest honors, with high honors, with honors. Then if the students doesn't have this kind of remark, it's either they have a pass or failed remark. Then press NG to continue.
Ito. Sino to? Si JR Sotoy. Yeah. Okay, so ang figures mo ay yung nasa 98, 99. Okay. So nag-average siya ng ano. Paano pagka halimbawang fail naman? Paano yung fail? Sino to? Okay. So siniro mo lang siya lahat. Wala siyang
Pwede po, meron din po siyang equivalent na ano po. Ito po pa sa another example pa po namin sa pero pwede po siya ano.
Yung
Halimbawa
school
po,
kasi ano
74 and below ng average.
Yung school kasi is 65. So, yun ang gusto kong makita kung saan nagre-range yung ano.
Pwede
niya,
po, meron din po siyang equivalent na ano po. Ito po pa sa another example pa po namin sa Nicaraguan. Pero
so
pwede
zero
po
lang
siya
talaga?
ano.
Walang
Halimbawa
values,
po
halimbawa,
74 and below po
75,
average.
ganun.
Hindi po ma'am, pero 75 po hanggang 99 which is ayun po yung passing value namin. And then pag below 74 po, ayun na po yung magiging fail remarks po namin.
Okay, sampulan mo ko ng yung below 75, which is 74.
Hindi po ma'am, pag
meron po.
75 po hanggang 99, which is ayun po yung passing value namin. And then, pag below 74 po, ayun na po yung magiging fail remarks po namin.
Maganda tong gamitin ng ano para sa mga quizzes. Recording. Hindi umabot ano kasi naglagay ka ng 79 doon, iisa lang siya tsaka yung 77 hindi pa rin kinaya. Okay, alright, okay, maganda. Patingin ng code. Paano nyo paano kayo nag-transition? Ay, sige
Meron pa po.
Sige.
Lang po.
Sorry.
Then ano po ma'am, next po is for example, we have a student that is now a
meron pa
dropout
pong
or not
picture.
attending school anymore. So
Meron pa
we
po.
must now delete the
Wait
record.
lang po.
So we go to the delete record function. Press 6.
Then ano po. Then ano po ma'am, next po is for example, we have a student that is now a dropout or anymore. So we must now delete the record. So we go to the delete record function and press 6.
Then to double check po kung nandun pa po record.
Then for example, the student roll 3. Enter. Then displays record successfully deleted. So press enter to continue.
Then as you can see po,
double check po kung nandun pa po record o wala na. Yung press 3 to view single student.
Lastly, if
Then yung number roll kanina which is 3.
just press 7 to go back to the default page.
Then as you can see po, na-delete na po yung record and record not found. So next po.
Then as you can see, it shows up.
Then lastly, if we are done now on using the program, just press 7 to go back to the default page.
May
Then
acknowledgement
press 2 to
portion
exit.
ng ano. Yan, maganda.
Then as you can see, it shows final remarks saying thank you for using the software, then showing
So,
also the
last
names of our group members
Paano nyo ginawa
and
yung
other
ano,
details.
transition
Then just
nung colors
press again to fully exit the program.
from yellow to red?
Opo.
Para po ma-change po yung color.
And that's all for the functions of our program.
Yung
Back to you,
unang
Lan.
ano po, ito po yung letter is for the background. Tapos yung 4 po is for the text.
Ma'am, ito po, papakita ko po
Para naman po sa transition namin, nandito po siya. Ito po.
Ma'am, para po ma-change po yung color, ito po, system color, E4. Yung unang ano po, ito po yung letter is for the background. Tapos yung 4 po is for the text. Para naman po sa transition namin, nandito po siya.
Good job! O,
Yung
diba?
slip po.
Magawa naman ako.
Tapos, ito po yung number.
Simple lang, pero ang ganda ng
Ito
ano.
po yung mag-execute po
Natuwa ako.
kung gaano po ka bilis or gaano ka bagal
Dahil
po
dyan,
yung
meron
ano
kayong
transition
palakpak.
po na gusto natin dun po sa ano
Sana.
system.
Pala. Yay! Yay! Okay. Alright. Sige. Medyo na ano na tayo. Yes, may question daw. Huwag malimutan. Sino yung ano? May tanong? Members. Ba yun? Full screen? Yan. Dali ah. 1, 2, 3. Okay, go. Okay na.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Yay, thank you. Okay, good job. O, may question ba kayo dun sa last group? Meron? Wala naman. O, sige, last group. Group 1.
Hello
Thank you
po,
po,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Wait lang po, mag-share screen lang po yung kadrop.
Sige.
Hello po ma'am. So wait lang po, mag-share screen lang po yung ka-group ko.
Ano, ready na? Ready na. Ready na.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, classmates. This is the presentation of Group 1. The project system we made is all about food reservation and stock availment system, and we entitled it Senior Production. So, what this project is all about?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, classmates. Station of Group 1. The project system we made is all about movie reservation and stock availment system, and we entitled it Cinehub Production.
Is an application built
So,
by
what this
business
project is all
people
about?
looking for
Next slide.
entertainment. From cinemas, theaters, and many more.
Nowadays, even entertainment can be quite a hassle, especially when you're going outside due to numerous external factors, which is we develop Cinehub. Cinehub is an application built to provide easiness to people look entertainment. From cinemas, theaters, and many more. Purchasing tickets from various movies and eating a snack could never be more easier. This program enables customer to reserve a seat in a cinema. Customers will input their name and age to determine if they are included in a specific MTRCB rating. See available movie schedule and the available seats. The program will extend which discounts to PWD or senior citizen and students from kindergarten to tertiary level. The uniqueness of this idea from other C++ program projects is that the program that will be constructed by the group will also provide a receipt for the customer's ordered snacks. The programming language to be used is C++, a general type of programming language that is considered a level language according to C++. Quick slide. Next slide.
For the project scope, we have described the work to be accomplished. The CineHub is a movie reservation and snack availment system. CineHub is a streamlined service that allows individuals to book movie tickets online. You may locate it on the internet or install it on your mobile phone or other device. CineHub is an online reservation system and a software solution that allows clients or appointments online via a company's website or app rather than over the phone or in person. This app is designed for everyone who enjoys seeing movies in cinemas or theaters. What's the purpose or business need for this project? This app allows users to have an easy functional access to information, products, services, and processes that they need in real time and are optimized for hands-on interaction. The purpose of this app is to make purchasing cinema tickets more convenient. This program allows movies but also order food. There's no need to stand in the line at the movies to buy a ticket or food. After you reserve your seat and order the meal, you can sit back and enjoy. The app's goal is to make it easier for customers to receive choosing without having to go to the theater before the movie starts. Who are the stakeholders or users? Consumer, the audience as well as user of the on-demand platform, and film production companies which includes filmmakers, distribution aspect as well as the film study. Next slide. So these are the objectives. We have the technical objective, which is to provide an application that the flow of watching for entertainment. And the second is the schedule objective, which is to produce a working application within the given time objective. Next slide. Next slide is a flow chart, which is going to be reported by Chandler.
Good afternoon po. So, pagka-start po ng program, pagka-start po ng program ticketing booth, kukunin po namin yung input po ng user gaya po ng name niya po, yung age niya. And next po, yung kukunin din po namin kung siya ba ay student, PWD or senior citizen or adult para po mabigyan po namin sila ng discount. Pag pinili niyo po ay student, meron po kayong 30% discount. Pag PWD po o senior citizen, may 40% discount po. Pag adult po, wala pa. Next po nun, kukunin po ulit namin yung input ng user para po sila ay mamili ng movie na gusto nilang panoorin. Meron po kaming 15 na movie na pwede nilang piliin. Yung una po ay Doctor Strange, Madness, Firestarter, The Northman, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Lost City, Uma, American Bulldog, and Sonic the Hedgehog 2. After po mamili Studio 666, The Letter Room, Catwoman Haunted, Encanto, Turning Red, Hotel Transylvania, Transformania, The Boss Baby, and Sonic the Hedgehog 2. After po mamili ng movie na gusto nilang panoorin, mag-i-input po ulit yung user kung ilang tickets po yung bibilhin niya. After po nun, tatanungin po yung user kung gusto ba nila mag-avail ng snacks. Sa snacks menu po namin, meron po kaming 28 na
Pag pinili po nila ang yes, lalabas po yung
28 na pagpipilian.
snacks menu namin.
Fries, footlongs, nuggets, shawarma, cheeseburger, siomai, fried noodles.
Sa snacks menu po namin, meron po kaming 28 na
gaya ng halo-halo, mango graham, buko salad, scramble, and gulaman.
pipilian. Ranging from fries, footlongs, nuggets, shawarma, cheeseburger, siomai, fried noodles. Meron din po kaming desserts gaya ng halo-halo, mango graham, buko salad, scramble, and gulaman.
Sa movies, and we're making po na makabago po yung mga pagkain na available sa isang movie para po hindi naman po nakakasama.
Papo.
Okay. Sige lang.
Hindi ko na po siya in-indicate sa list since masyado na pong common yung popcorn sa movies, and we're making po na makabago po yung mga pagkain na available para po hindi naman po nakakasawa. So yun lang.
Pag naka-order na po sila, mag-print na po yung resibo namin at yun na rin po yung tapos nung program. Salamat po.
First po is yung booking of tickets. In reality po, kailangan po talaga una pumila or pumili ng ticket po bago ka po makapasok sa isang sinihan.
After po na binasa po yung flowchart, next naman po is our deliverables. So ano po yung mga included po dun sa bundle na ginawa namin? First po is yung booking of tickets. In reality po, kailangan po talaga una pumila or bumili ng ticket po bago ka po makapasok sa isang sinihan. So we decided to make a program po na mas mapapabilis po yung pagbili ng ticket po, which is booking of tickets with any movies in any amount, and discounts also included. So gumawa po kami ng app or ng program po na mas mapapabilis po yung pagbili ng ticket, which is itatype mo lang po dun yung gusto mong panoorin na movie, and nandun na rin po yung amount niya po. And also po, nagbibigay din po kami ng discount po para po sa mga estudyante or PWD or senior citizens po, para po makabawat amount na gagastusin nila. And next is the purchasing of snacks po, ma'am. It is wide selection of snacks to choose from to satisfy your budget while you watch. So alam po natin na hindi kompleto yung pagnood natin ng movie pag wala tayong ginangata or kinakain ng mga snacks. So naisipan po namin na ilagay na lang din po yung pag-order po ng snacks, kasi po hindi po katulad sa ibang sinihan na magkabukod po yung bibilhan nyo po ng ticket doon po sa bibilan nyo po ng pagkain. So napaka-hassle po nun para po sa iba na gustong sa mga nagmamadali po na manood. So in-indicate din po namin yung mga snacks doon, yung mga sinabi po kanina. And we use this po, ma'am, para po mas mapabilis po yung trabaho. And next is the fast process all-in-one. Yun nga po, sabi ko, ginawa po namin yung program na yun po para po mas mapabilis po yung process or yung sistema po ng pagnood ng movie by purchasing the snacks and the booking of tickets. So we expected na isa-first po na makikinabang po sa aming apps. Film producers would be able to give their works the exposure it deserves with the accessibility of CineHub provides. So kapag nalaman po ng mga film producers po yung ginawa po naming app, we think po na gagamitin din po nila yung app na ginawa namin po para po doon sa ipapalabas po nilang movie, kasi nga po less hassle na po, isang orderan na lang po yung pag-process po na pagnood ng movie. And next is yung theaters and cinemas. So the entertainment focused establishment would greatly benefit from CineHub to optimize their workflow. So isa rin po yung theaters and cinema sa pinakamakikinabang po sa ginawa naming app. Why? Kasi kapag po yung isang sinihan is ganun po yung sistema ng pag-order ng pagkain or yung pag-book po ng tickets, customers or manonood ng movie yung magtatangkilik po doon sa ganong sinihan, kasi nga po less hassle na po, hindi na po sila mahihirapan. So ang benefit po nun sa isang sinihan is kumbaga tataas po yung
yung bumibili, yung nanonood po sa kanila and kikita po sila. And next na mga expected po namin nagagamit is yung mga consumers or yung mga customers. The easiness of use would be desired by every movie lovers out there. And alam ko po na lahat tayo or lahat ng tao is mahilig po talaga manood ng movies. And we assure po na yung mga customers po ay makikinabang po ng sobra and makakatulong po sa kanila yung ginawa naming app, which is na hindi po sila mahirapan or hindi na po sila ma-hassle. And na maging masaya po sila and maging satisfied po, ma'am. Next. So, the success factors. The key to our success po, ma'am, is number one is yung satisfaction of clients and consumers. Isa po sa pinakamasayang pangyayari po and pinakamagandang mangyari po sa amin kapag po na-satisfied yung customers namin. And ito po yung pinaka na makakapag-satisfied po sa amin kasi po tinakilig po nila and naging masaya po sila sa ginawa po naming app. Next is yung project objectives. Our objective as stated in past slides are accomplished. So, isa rin po ito sa mga the key to success po namin kapag po na-execute po ng maayos yung mga objectives namin. Katulad po nung technical objective na nagpo-provide po ng application that helps ease the flow of watching for entertainment, and next po dun yung ease po ng schedule na nagpo-produce po ng working application within the given time objective.
We also have Jennifer Hines as a business analyst, John Lloyd Tugo as a technical architect, and two programmers which are Rinaldo Bailon Jr.
So for the introduction of our team, we have our project manager, Butch Kabading, myself, Luke, as a technical writer. We have two system analysts, which are John Lee Mark Fabriag and Lester Watson. We also have a business analyst, John Lloyd Dugo, as a technical architect, and two programmers, which are Rinaldo Bailon Jr. and Ashley Sampagan. Next.
The tools we use for this project are Dev C++ and
Now, for the implementation of our project, we were first tasked to decide on what our project would base on to. Then, we produce, design, develop the project we decided, and present it as a working simple application with agile methodology and Scrum as the process. The tools we use for this project are Dev C++ and code blocks with Scrum as our project change control process. Next. Proceeding to the project schedule and milestone. Both of our project identification and project design were decided at May 21, 2022. And the development started the next day at May 22. Lastly, the presentation of our project is held today at May 28th.
I will proceed now
Next.
with our code and how our code or application runs. So, paki-exit na po. So, allow me to share my screen.
Okay.
So that's all po for our introduction. So I will proceed na po with our code and how our code or application runs. So paki-exit na po ng share.
Yes.
Thank you.
So allow me to share my screen po.
For our simple application. So I am going to run the program.
So visible na po yung screen ko.
Mabagal po sa execution ng laptop ko since luma na.
Thank you. So ito po yung code namin for our simple application. So I'm going to run the program po. So wait lang, mabagal po sa execution ng laptop ko since luma na po. Naghang.
Nagla-loading po. So, ito na po siya. So, ito lang po lumabas yung So, ito na po. So,
wait lang po ma'am, naghang, na-responding po yung code blocks.
Movie reservation and snack availment system. So,
Wait lang po, nagla-loading lang po.
sa first part po is lalabas po yung
So, ito na po siya. So, wait ko lang po lumabas yung
mag-indicate na ang application po
So,
namin is
eto na po.
intentionally for
So, ito po yung namin, application. Ang title po is Movie Reservation and Snack Availment System. So, sa first part po is lalabas po yung ticketing booth. So, ito po yung mag-indicate na ang application po namin is intentionally for ticketing booth po. So, sa first part, gaya po ng sinabi sa flowchart is lalabas po yung input ng name of customer. So, the reason why need po namin makuha po yung info ng user such as name and age po, gaya po ng sabi is because kailangan po namin siya for our MTRCB rating po since may mga movies na hindi po allowed sa mga minor or hindi po allowed kapag wala pong parent or guardian na kasama. So name of customer. So ilalagay ko na lang po yung name ko dito. And my name po. So sa age po, so magpakatotoo na lang po is 19. So sa customer status, dito po sa customer status is ma-identify po ng program namin kung ano po ba yung customer namin, kung student, PWD or citizen, or adult po siya. Wherein gaya po ng sinabi sa kanina po sa introduction, ang student po ay makakakuha ng 30% discount while ang PWD or citizen is maka 30% discount. Only for the ticket movie po. So sa ticket movie pa lang. Yes po. So sa adult, so parang libre na po siya halos. Lugi na po 'yan. Pero depende pa rin po 'yun sa sa cinema na kukuha po ng program or ng code namin. So dito po sa adult, so gaya po ng sinabi, yung mga adult is kaya naman po mag-provide ng money on their needs po or yung mga gusto po nila. So hindi na po namin sila binigyan ng discount po. So 0% discount. So sa student, so I am a student. So I enter 1. So dito po nag-pop po yung note na hooray, students can now enjoy up to 30% of these tickets. So dito po makikita po natin na yung mismong program po is kino-congratulate yung customer status, kumbaga ina-highlight niya po kung ano pong klaseng customer siya para sa MTRCB rating nga po. So dito po, please ensure that the following information are correct. So dito po kasi pwede pong magamit po yung info po. Minamali po kasi yung program. Parang naglagay lang po kami dito ng warning na kailangan po tama po yung indicate na information kasi kailangan din po yun para sa database po na soon to be work po namin if we're going to continue po this program. So dito po lalabas po yung wish to proceed kung gusto niyo po mag-proceed pa sa pag-avail ng ticket or pagpapa-reserve po ng movie. So yes. So dito po lalabas na po yung mga movie names as well as their price. So nawala na po yung nasa taas since masyado po kasi marami to. So list of available movies. So ito po yung mga list ng name ng movies. Then indicated po yung price. So kung makakita nyo po overpriced po yung ticket. Pero your chosen movie title is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse. Gagawa po or sa kukuha po ng namin cinema. Dito po i-confirm po ng program na hula-hula lang po yan. So choose a movie number. So I'll choose the movie that I interest the most po. So ito po yung yung Doctor Strange po. So your chosen movie title is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse Madness. So dito po i-confirm po ng program namin kung tama po ba yung na-record niya na yung pinili pong movie ni user is ito pong gusto niya talaga, which is yung pinili niya. So ito po. So kung makikita po natin sa po yung lumabas na movie. So if the customer wish to proceed po, lalabas yung continue, yes or no, ita-type po kung Y or N. So Y for yes and N for no. So yes, I want to proceed. So dito po, ito na po yung sinasabi namin na MTRCB rating. We're in movie name, Doctor Strange and Multiverse Madness. So dito po lalabas MTRCB rating of the movie, rated 18. So it is only available for 18 mga cases or may mga scenes na hindi po kaaya-aya for kids or for young customer or mga bata po. So this movie is only for 18 plus.
So, eto po, hinighlight po talaga yung this movie kasi po para po mabigyan po ng guide or ma-warn po yung customer na this movie may mga scenes nga po na hindi po available or hindi po dapat sa age po nila. So, customer age, so lumabas po dito yung customer age which is 19 yung in-enter po nung user. And this movie is suitable for the age of the customer. Thank you, enjoy watching. Please enjoy the movie. So, yun po yung lumabas. So, enter the quantity of tickets. So, ilang ticket po ba yung kailangan ko? So, example is kailangan ko po lang ng isa since ako lang manonood. Wala pong kasama or one. So, enter ticket. So, 1. So, would you like to avail movie snack? So, if gusto mo pong mag-avail ng movie snack, so, type Y, yes. Then, dito po lalabas po yung movies, list of movies. Ayan po. So, list of snacks, desserts, and drinks. So, ito na po sila. So, makita nyo po yung price, indicated na rin po yung price para hindi na po magkatanong si customer or hindi na po siya mangangapa na mamaya is mahal po pala masyado yung i-avail niya na food. So, para rin po, ma-test niya rin po sa budget niya. So, please enter the number of your order since number na lang po yung hinihingi po namin since indicated na po yung number sa left side po ng menu po. So, nag-order ako ng 1 tas dalawa po yung gusto. So, sabas is your total purchase is 443.8. So, ito pong total purchase kasama na po dito yung sa movie ticket which is 1. Then yung in-enter nyo pong food which is yung ito po, French fries large na 2 pieces, so 70. So may computation later on. So lalabas po dito, please enter your payment. So hihingi po si program kung magkano po yung ibabayad nyo para alam niya na po kung magkano rin po yung isusupply upon entering the receipt or upon getting the receipt po. So example is may 500 pesos akong ibabayad. So enter. So directly na pong magra-run and pupunta na po dito sa may receipt part. So sa receipt po, lalabas yung Cinema Hub. Ito po yung hub or yung cine name or yung place po ng cine. So address, so Mema address po, 26th Street, corner 222. So cinema number 3, seat, so lalabas po yung seat number. So name, which kabading, so yung name po na lumabas. So movie title, Doctor Strange. So yung movie price po is 350. So ticket quantity isa, total price 287. So bakit po naging 287? Kasi po meron po discount na 30%, then at the same time may VAT po. May VAT po na 12%. So, kung i-compute nyo po yung ticket ay yung discount na 30%, tapos meron po siyang VAT na 12%. So, ito po yung lalabas na sagot, 287. Then, sa snacks po, meron po tayong French fries lard na in-order kanina. So, ang snack price po natin is PHP 70 pesos. Nilagay ko since so po dalawa. So, dalawa. Total snack price, 156.8. So, magtataka po kayo bakit 156.8 kasi 70 times 2 is 140 po. Pero, meron po ulit tayong VAT na 12%. So, hindi naman po ako gahaman sa VAT kasi pero, yun lang po para maging formal po yung receipt. Kailangan po ng value-added tax. So, to be confirmed, so this serves as your official receipt, amusement and culture tax included. So included na po. So ito na po yung amount due, 443.8. Ito na po yung total na babayaran. So discount po natin 105. Ang 105 na discount lang po neto is yung sa ticket lang po, which is 30%. 105. Then yung charge po na 12%, which is yung VAT. So yung VAT po natin is pinagsamang VAT po ng ticket and VAT po ng ating snack. So, meron po tayong 58.8 na VAT. So, ang cash po natin, ang binayad po natin is 500 pesos. So, 500 pesos yung cash. Ang payment natin is 500 pesos. So, ang sinukli po sa atin ni system is 56.2. So, 43.8. So, ito po yung sukli. So, please keep this receipt. Thank you and come again. So, doon na po nag-end yung application program po namin. So, allow me to show you po our code po. So, ito na po yung code namin. So, una po, wala po kaming binago halos. kung ano po yung natutunan namin, yun lang po halos nilagay namin. But we included string, hashtag, include string po. Since kailangan po kasi namin i-include yung full name ni, we have new get line sin name. So, ito pong get line na to, inaalaw niya po yung input ni user na maglagay po ng more than one string, or I mean more than one string po, like kapag wala po kasing ganito, kapag nandito po sa int name tas sin age ay sin name, ang iaalo lang po ni program is only one ano lang po, isang name or isang ano lang po, isang word, yan. Naglagay po kami ng get line sin that name. So cout age, so hindi ko na po explain. So ito po yung mga variables po na ginamit namin. As you can see, masyado pong marami, since masyado pong maraming computation and marami pong mga kailangan na i-store na value po. Kaya marami po yung ginawa po naming variable. So ito po, ticketing booth. So name ni customer, then proceed na po, puro cout. So cout, customer status, PWD citizen. So may mga comment po kami dito. This will ask for the identity of the customer hanggang dito. Yan. So this will identify what kind of customer they are. So if they are PWD, student, or adult. So ito po yan. Then customer, ito na po yung sa may switch status namin para po makapili si customer kung ano po bang type ng ano po siya. Ano pong type ng student, PWD or adult po siya. So ito po yung mga case namin. So dito rin po yung discount. So bakit hindi po siya percent? Bakit hindi po siya 12%? Instead of 12%, ginawa po namin siyang decimal, which is 0.3, then 0.4, then 0. So, cout, please ensure that the following information are correct. Ito po yung nakita nyo kanina. Then wish to proceed. Ito na po yung mga ano namin. So, ito po yung comment. May na-typo pa. Malapurahin ko lang. So, ayan po. So, switch proceed. So, ito na po yung sa main. So may nakalagay dito, thank you for your interest. So ito po yung kapag nag-no po si user. So if you want po, ipapakita ko po sa inyo. Wait po, build and run. Run lang po ako ulit para ipakita ko kapag sa proceed nag-no po si user, kung ano po yung mangyayari. So name ko po ulit. So 19. Then pipila po ako ng customer status. Then if you don't want na pa lang, lagay nyo po yung no. Then lalabas po dito, if error has been made, please try again. Meaning, kapag may napindot po na mali or may mali pong na-click or mali po yung nalagay na ni customer, like kung imbes na Y po yung malagay niya is naging N. So ina-ask po ni user na iulitin po yung pag-run ng program. Then kapag hindi po talaga sila interesado or kapag ayaw na po talaga nila or sinadya ay intentionally po yung pag-exit or pag-deny po nila sa wish to proceed. So ito na po yung lalabas, thank you for your interest, para polite naman po yung para polite po yung approach, hindi po rude, hindi po parang galit pa yung system namin na bakit di ka nagpatuloy, ganun po. So yun lang po. So tuloy ko na po dito sa explanation ng code. So dito po lalabas po ulit yung list of available movies. So ito po yung prices, ito po yung name, ito po yung number. So choose a movie. So ito po, movie number. Then ito po, itong string na ginamit ko dito. Gumamit po ako ng string tapos nilagay ko po yung names ng mga movies. So masyado po mahaba. Masyado po mahaba yung movie lang, marami. So hindi ko na pa ipapakita. So ito po yun. Para po mapalabas ko yung movie title later on sa receipt po, gumamit po ako ng string. Then for confirmation, ito na po ulit yun. Then ito na po yung sa may discount. Inulit ko lang po para po mas mapakita po sa system and hindi po masyadong confusing po sa gagamit po ng program. So meron din po akong comment dito. Input the number of the chosen movie. So dito, yung same case po sa wish to proceed, yes or no, yun lang din po yan. So movie name, dito na po yung lalabas yung MTRBC. Ano ba yun? MTCRB po yun. So MTRCB rating. And so MTRCB rating, ito na po yung rated 18. So dito na po lalabas yung if movie number is chuchu. Ayan. Movie number. Kita naman po sa screen. So, if movie number is greater to 0, and. So, ito pong and na to. Ito po yung parang magpapakita po siya na if movie number is greater than or equal to 0, but may parang ito po yung but sa sa math. But less than, halimbawa, if x is greater than y but less than z. So ito po yung but. Ito po yung parang ano po siya ng condition, mag-e-end po siya tapos parang haharang po siya na hanggang dun lang po, na hindi po siya continuous or whatsoever po. So if age, so ito na po yan. So this movie is not suitable. Gusto ko, if you want po, ipapakita ko rin po tong part na to, na itong else po, na this movie is not suitable if yung age po ng customer is below 18, then nag-choose po siya ng movie na above. So allow me to run the program again.
So ang pipiliin ko dito movie is yung for 18 above. Ay, mali ako nang nalagay na 18.
So enter ko lang po ulit yung name ko. 19. So student, so yes. So mag-proceed. So pipili po ako ng movie. So ang pipiliin ko po ditong movie is yung for 18 above. Ay, mali yata ako. Wait lang po. Mali ako nang nalagay na age. Dapat pala below 8.
So pipili po ako ng movie na for 18 above. So hanggang for 18 above po dito is itong number 8 hanggang letter.
Lagay ko lang po ulit name.
So pipiliin ko po example si...
So halimbawa yung age ko po is 12. 12 years old po ako. Then enter corresponding status number. So 1. Then wish to proceed, yes. So pipili po ako ng movie na for 18 above. So ang hanggang for 18 above po dito is itong number 8 hanggang letter room po. The letter room. So pipiliin ko po example si horror, si Uma. Yan, si Uma. So for confirmation, your chosen movie title is Uma. So wish to proceed, yes. So ito po, haharangin na po agad ni program si user. Ang sasabihin niya po is movie name Uma, MTRCB rating of this movie is sin. So this movie is only for 18 plus, customer age 12. So this movie is not suitable for the age of the customer. Please choose another movie. Thank you. So dito na po nag-exit po yung program. Bakit? Kasi hindi na po ipapagpatuloy pa ni program yung pag-entertain sa customer. Kasi po malinap ay masyado na pong parang tumatapak na po siya sa limitation niya, wherein na dapat may certain movie lang po for that specific age. Kaya doon na po mag-exit po yung program kasi hinarang na po ng mismong code. So yun lang po. So this movie is not suitable. So while movie number, so ito na po yung mga condition ulit. So switch movie number. Dito na po yung mga cases po na kung saan pipili ng number. Then dito po makikita yung mga computation. And po, kung papapansin niyo po masyado po maraming computation dyan. So paulit-ulit lang naman po yan halos. Iba lang po yung price. So kaya po masyado marami kasi masyado po. So ayan po. Ayan. So proceed na sa... Ayan. So mag-a-ask po ulit siya kung magpapatuloy po yung system po. So dito po, ito na po yung snack menu. Ayan po. So indicated na po yung snack menu dito. Then ayan yung drinks. So dito po naglagay po ulit ako ng string para po mapakita yung later on yung name po ng snack na in-avail ng customer. So ayan po. Ayan po. So sweet choice, andito po ulit yung mga pagpipilian. Then as well as with the computation po. Ayan po. So hindi ko na po explain kasi pero sige pakita ko na lang. So para paano po ginawa. So quantity sa orange snack price. Ito po yung original price ng snack which is 219. So for the computation of VAT, so we have original snack times 0.12. So kumbaga price po nung and then times 0.12 para po makuha yung VAT. So yung total VAT po kailangan po natin computein. So VAT which is yung sagot po dito sa na-compute na to times quantity. So i-multiply po natin sa quantity para po makuha natin yung total VAT na binili po ni customer. So ito na po yung snack price. Ito na po yung overall price po ng snack po na yon, and as well as yung quantity po. So ayan po. Baba. Ayan, so dito na po sa ito po pala muna. So ito na po yung sa computation ng total VAT. So total VAT tick. So pinaghiwalay ko po kasing VAT ng ticket and VAT ng snack. Pinaghiwalay po namin rather yung VAT ng tick and VAT ng snack. So Ayan po kung mapapansin nyo. So, pinag-add po yung total VAT tick, then total VAT sa, para in-store po siya sa total VAT. Then yung total amount is ticket price and yung snack price po. So, see out, it's your total purchase is. So, ito po yung lumabas kanina kung magkano daw yung lumabas na, na buy ay naginastos or na-avail po ng customer. Then, naglagay po ako dito ng total amount para po mapalabas po yung value po neto and map sa system po. Then yung see out, please enter your payment. Then dito po humingi po ng payment si user. Kung nakita niyo po kanina, may in-input po na payment na hiningi po ng system. Then yung change po, alam na po natin na payment minus total amount. So hindi po natin pwedeng pagbalik tayo na total amount minus payment kasi mahalaga po yun para sa sa computation since hindi po pwedeng mauna yung total amount kasi magne-negative po. Or so system so receipt, ito na po yung format po ng receipt namin. So naglagay lang po kami ng konting mga ganyan kaektikan. And konting design lang po. Then mga \n/t, then and po yung mga nakita niyo po kanina na details. And so ito po in-store po namin yung movie title. So bakit po naging ganito? Kung mako-confuse kayo kasi sa sa paglagay or pag-call ng isang array. So kung maalala niyo po, may string po ako doon ng movie title. So itong movie number po, ito po yung pinili ng user. So ang nangyari po dito, yung movie number, yung pinili po ng customer, yun po yung parang naging, kung maalala niyo po yung yung parang pang-call po. Yung pang-call po ng array. So ganun na lang po yung title, then yung kinol po kung pang ilan yung kung anong number po yung i-call po natin na. So yun po yung movie number. Then original ticket price, then pinrint lang po namin para mapakita po sa receipt. So ayun lang po yung namin. Ito naman po yung sa may computation po sa baba. So total amount, so discount price, so charge, VAT, payment, change, then please skip this read. Thank you and come again. So yun lang po ma'am. Any question?
Kasi ando na yung resibo, nakapag-produce kayo ng resibo, napakita niyo yung choices. Alam ko na, ang kulang na lang dito ay yung di ba pagka pupunta ka sa sinihan, yung mga position.
Yes po ma'am. Bali,
yun yung sa yun yung concept ng TikTok to yung pag-move, tapos paglipat, ayan. Doon naman sa case ng move, lipat. Etong dito sa dun sa movie, yung pinapakita, no? Yung mga seats na available. Pinakikita na. Yun na lang ang kulang dyan. Isang buong application na yan. Yan yung nakikita ko sa inyong inyong gawa.
Bali, kailangan pa po namin siya parang i-convert into real application na hindi na po siya sa system, and as well yung format po ng yung format po mismo, yung mga design, yung mga color. So working pa po kami na, and one pa po namin na pagandahin po mismo yung system po.
Yes po. Bali, kailangan pa po namin siya parang i-convert into real application na hindi lang po siya sa system, and as well yung format po ng mga yung format po mismo, yung mga design, yung mga color. So working pa po kami na and pagandahin po mismo yung system po na.
Saktong-sakto yung resibo
If given the chance po.
Proper proper design,
siguro po as
sizes,
time goes by, since matututo naman po kami, and yan po, marami lang po kami
pangalan ng company, diba? Maayos na siya, konting linis na lang yan, diba? Okay, wala akong masabi na-impress talaga ako sa mga output ninyo. Grabe, at dahil dyan meron kayong clap. Sandali lang lalabas ko lang yung ating clap. Ay, prayer. Ayan. Yay! Good job!
Okay na po.
Pwede ka na.
Thank you.
Okay. So, okay, need ko na lang is yung inyong yung screen ng
pwede na po ako mag-share.
May question. Teka, sandali, hanapin kung sino to. Sino yun? O, ba't bigla nawala? Nasa ka na, nagtataas na kamay kanina, bigla nawala. Hindi. Wala po, ma'am, napindot lang.
Yes po, ma'am.
Si Eric talaga. Okay. Yung PowerPoint nyo para sa ano? Sa screen. Screenshot. Ayan. Okay. Ayan. So, habang hinahantay natin yung ano, yung ating Cine Hub. Galing nga. I-ano mo, full screen mo, kuya. Ayan. Okay, andali lang. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay na. Good. Alright, so okay, super overtime na tayo. Grabe. Ano na lang, pahingi na lang ako ng ano ng screenshot ninyo. Pakibuksan yung mga video, no? Kasi medyo super overtime na tayo. I really need to move to my next class. Kasi ano rin sila, presentation sila ngayon. Nagsabi na ako na mag-extend kami. But anyway, I'm very happy with all your outputs, no? Nasa na yung mga videos. Pakibukas po yung inyong mga video para sa ating screenshot. Ayan. Congratulations. Ang gagaling ng mga output. Sulit na sulit yung inyong C programming tsaka C++. Nakabuo na kayo, no? Talagang nakabuo kayo ng isang buong application, no? Simple lang, pero maganda yung output, no? So, congratulations. Ayan. Okay. Alright, kukunan ko na ng screenshot. Dali. Smile naman dyan. Isang smile na productive. Ayan. Okay, good. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next set. Okay, next set. And then, last set. Ayan. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ayan, I really need to move on to the next class. Kung may tanong man kayo, ilagay nyo na lang sa GC at babalikan ko, ha? No, sige, mauna na ako kasi I really need to go to my next class. Okay, thank you so much for today. Okay.
Bye-bye po, ma'am.
Bye-bye. Congratulations. Ayan. Okay. Leave na ako. Ay, nasa na? Nasa na? Ito na. I'm here. Sorry. Ayan na.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye-bye po, ma'am.
Thank you po.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Ito na ako. Sorry, join now. Ay, sorry. Ay, nako, so sorry. Ayan, nako. Ang daming ang daming nawala. Teka, kompleto na ba tayo? Ay, kompleto na. Bakit mga nakataas ang kamay? Ayan. Okay, class, I'm here. Teka lang, simulan na natin. Alright. Nasaan si Jaja? Ayan, si Jalaine. Jalaine! Hello, sorry. Kasi talaga namang napahaba yung aming Alam niyo naman pagka-presentation medyo yan ang nangyayari talaga. Anyway, okay. So, meron na ba tayong line up? Hindi ba? Wala pa?
Wala pa.
Okay, ilan ang magpe-present? Ilang groups?
Bali po, ang group lang po ata is 2, tapos most po nag-individual.
Mostly nag-individual.
Yes,
Okay.
po.
So, kung may 2 grupo, ay, naku, medyo mag-extend tayo.
wala
Medyo
pa po.
mahaba-haba ito kasi madami, no? Teka.
Bali po, ang group lang po ata is
Paano ko
2,
malalaman?
tapos most po nag-individual.
Right. Kailangan ko ng
Yes po.
listahan. Natin.
Sige po, send ko po yung listahan po sa inyo.
Oo. Kasi i-ano natin ng randomizer para sa sa line-up. Pero merong gustong mauna na eh. Naalala ko dito may nag-message sa akin. Sino ba yung nag-message sa akin na gustong mauna na?
Sige po, send ko po
Sino,
yung
Gab?
listahan po sa inyo.
Gab, nandiyan ka?
Yes po.
Ano ka? Grupo o individual?
Group po.
Group. So, group 4. Okay, yung group 4 mauna.
Yes po.
So, yung isang grupo. Sino yung isang grupo?
Yes po, ma'am. Yes po. Group po.
Wait lang. Teka, titignan ko yung comment. Chat.
Yes po.
Kami po, yun po ang nakataas, ma'am, volunteer. Nakataas, volunteer. Ales, anong grupo mo? Ales. Mag-comment ka na lang. Ha?
Individual daw po siya.
Individual siya, individual. Pero gusto mo bang mauna or kasama dun sa ano? Kasi ito yung nag-volunteer na ano eh. Kami pong nakataas. Yung mga nakataas, yun yung ano, volunteer na mauna. Ayun.
Individual daw po siya.
Okay. So,
Individual daw po siya, ma'am.
Yung link po ng listahan. Hindi po siya kompleto kasi hindi po nagsagot yung iba. So, ayun po.
okay.
Pero individual lang din.
Okay, teka, bubuksan ko.
Ma'am,
Saan?
excuse
Sa,
po.
eto,
Sa Facebook po.
sa Facebook.
Ma'am, nasend ko na po sa inyo yung link po ng listahan. Hindi po
yung
siya kompleto kasi hindi po
individual
nagsagot yung iba.
yung
So,
group.
ayun po. Pero individual lang din
Mauna
po
sina
yun.
Gab, Por. So, hindi ko nasasama si Gab.
Sa Facebook
Yuri, individual ka ba?
Group po si
Group 2. So, nagpe-presenta ka ring mauna. Ikaw ay group 3. So, isunod na kita kasi naunang nagsabi sa akin si Gab. So, okay, ang line-up natin, teka, inaayos
Group
ko
po
na
si
yun.
Yuri. Ma'am, group po kami.
Okay, line-up. Line-up.
Opo, group 3 po kami.
Group 4.
Sige po.
Tapos,
Okay
group
lang po.
3. Okay. Tapos, itong 2 and 3, Jalaine, ikaw ba yung nagpe-presentang itong grupo nyo? Nakataas kasi yung kamay mo dito. Nagpe-presenta ka ba?
Ay, opo. Yes.
Okay. So, isusunod kita after group 3, group 2. Okay lang? Okay lang? Ja.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then, yung grupo ni na Mariton, Wilmer.
Ay, opo. Yes.
Wala. Hindi. Nakataas din ang kamay ni Wilmer. Wilmer, gusto mo ba? Yung group nyo, pang-apat?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay. So,
Yes,
group
ma'am. Pwede na.
ni na Wilmer ay pang-apat. Okay. Group 1. Group 1. And then, ito na yung i-reshuffle natin. Itong
Yes po, ma'am.
individual, no? Ales, nandito ka sa individual?
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, group din po kami nila Erica, Rochelle, at ako po. Hindi na po namin nailagay sa Excel po.
So, anong group number nyo?
Hindi po kasi namin nailagay sa Excel. Ano pong group? Wait lang po, mama.
Ma'am? Group 5
Ma'am?
na yung pinakakulo.
Ma'am, group din po kami nila
Okay. So,
Erica,
isusunod ko kayo
Rochelle,
dun
at
sa
ako
group
po. Hindi na
1.
po namin nailagay sa Excel po.
Group 5.
Sige po, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, group 5.
Hindi po kayo sa Excel.
Tapos yung ating
Ano
individual.
pong group? Wait lang po, mama.
Yun ang
Group
i-reshuffle
5
ko.
na po ata yung pinakahuli. Bale, pang group 5 po sila.
G.
Sige po, ma'am. Thank you.
G. Okay. Okay, copy. Tapos ilalagay ko dito. Okay. Okay, i-share ko. Sandali, para nakikita ninyo. Baka meron akong nalimutan. Alright, so ito yung aking randomizer. Close. Tapos, ayan. So, hindi ko na isinama dito sa ating randomizer itong group na tinatanong ko kanina, no? So, ang nakalagay lang dito ay yung mga individual, no? So, ito yung ating pagkakasunod-sunod. So, mauna muna itong mga to. Okay, yan yung pagkakasunod-sunod. And then, group 4. And then, group 5. Ayan. So, after group 5, simulan na natin itong mga nakalagay dito. Dito sa listahan, kung nakikita nyo, ang nakalagay dito ay si Adeline. Aba naman, tanggalin na natin yan. Okay. Si Adeline, si Melvin, si Dajak, si Sombrito, okay, at saka si Riola. Sinong wala pa dito? Magsabi na. Sinong wala pa dito? Alice, ikaw ba'y individual? Mark? Ha? Okay, lalay ko na dito. Mark, Alice. Sino pa? Sino pa ang nag-individual na hindi nakakikita yung pangalan dito? Kompleto na ba to?
Po, ma'am. Individual po.
Ano pangalan?
Opo. Kuvin po.
Ha? Sophia, tama?
Opo.
Marie Kubin. Sino pa?
Paurin po, ma'am.
Po, ma'am.
Sino yun?
Individual po.
Gerald po.
Kuvin po.
Ha?
Gerald Palileo.
Si Palileo. Okay. Gerald
Opo.
Palileo. Okay. Sino pa?
Dela Merced po.
Paurin
Sorry?
po, ma'am.
Dela Merced po.
Dela Merced. Teka, ano pangalan mo?
Gerald po.
Dania po.
Palileo.
Jania. Okay.
Gerald Palileo po.
Dela Merced. Sino pa?
Dela Merced po.
Mamulina rin po.
Daniel, no?
Dela Merced po.
Tama?
Yes po.
Malina.
Dania po.
Next. Sino pa? Lana. Lana?
Ako po, ma'am.
Oh. Sino?
Mamulina rin po.
Rose Ann.
Rose Ann Hernan.
Yes po.
Tama?
Opo.
Okay. Sino pa? Wala na?
Malaurin, ma'am.
Alaurin. Stepan.
Ako po, ma'am.
Tama? Stepan.
Rose Ann.
Ano pa?
Opo.
Manusun po.
Ha? Manuson?
Manusun po.
Malaurin.
Tama? Manuson? 13.
Stefan po.
Christina?
Opo.
Maria Cristina. Maria... Ano ba to? Cristina Manuson.
Manusun po.
And,
Manusun
meron pa?
po.
Meron pa?
Opo. Opo.
Baka meron sa comment Ales Gubin. Teka, dito tayo sa comment. Melvin? Sa grupo ka, Melvin, diba? Tingin ko sa grupo ka eh. Okay. So, pwede na akong mag-random. Wala na akong naiwan. Okay. So, i-randomizer na natin. Oo nga, individual. Alam ko si Alice nga yung nag-individual, pero ikaw, group. Group ka, diba? Nung ka doon sa, sa listahan ni, saan ba yung listahan ni, midterms. Ito, nakita ko dito yung pangalan mo eh. Oh, wala kang pangalan dito. Ano, individual ka rin, Melvin? Hindi daw.
Individual.
Eto. Nilagay ko na siya doon eh. Teka. Dito tayo sa wheel. Eto, number 2. Oh, yan. Okay na. Okay, kung wala na,
Nasa individual.
i-randomize na natin, no? Okay. So,
Pangalawa
yung
po.
ating line up, Mula 1 to 5 meron na. Mauna si group 4, group 3 next, 2 next, 1 next, and then 5. So, susundan na natin yung number 6. Sino yung ating number 6? Let's do randomizer dun sa ating listahan. So, that will be the Jack. Okay, so si the Jack. Okay, and then 7. Close. Oh, Kubin. Next is Kubin. Number 8. Okay. Close. Next. Sino? Ayan, Melvin, pang-8. Sino? 9. Next. Alice. Ayan, Alice. Alice. Close. Okay, next. Alaurin. Palileo. Okay, close. And then next, 12. Wala. Okay, mag-ready na yung naandun sa lineup. Sunod-sunod na yan afterwards. 13. Okay. Sino? Rose Ann? Okay, Rose Ann. Hernan. Sorry. Okay, number 14. Mouse. Okay, tanggalin na natin ito. Si Melvin. Tanggalin na natin si Riola, si Alice, si Covin, si Palileo, si Rose Ann, si Alaurin. Okay. Okay. Alright. Molina. Close. 15. Period. Naon. Adeline. Okay. And 16. Right. Tom Brito. 17. Close. It's between De La Merced and Molina. Okay. Ay, sinunuson ko pala. So, next is Molina.
Ma'am, may Molina na po.
Meron na?
14.
Ulit. So, okay. So, i-close na natin to. So, again, alisin lang natin ito.
Ma'am, may Molina na po.
And
14.
Sombrito, wala na rin. Saka ito. So, it's just between these two. Ayan. Okay. Jania De La Merced. So, ang ating pinakahuli ay si Manuson. De La... Ito na lang. Hindi pa rin nagkasya. And 18. So, 18. Manuson. Okay. Okay, start na tayo. Pwede na. Alright. Alright, let's make it formal, class. Everyone, let's put our hands in the in our heart with respect to our flag, and so we sing the wait lang. Bago nga pala gawin, i-record ko naman ano. Ayan. So, na-address na natin yung ating pagkakasunod-sunod. Okay? At naka-share na ako. And ayan. Tingnan ko nga kung naka-ano ako. Dali lang ah.